Alright, can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Yes, no, maybe so. My freaking space right now is OD cluttered. OD cluttered right now because I'm eating. Okay, here? Alright. Alright, can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear
When you
me?
Mountain Mods,
Can y'all hear
probably
me?
Saturday.
Yes,
I'm gonna stream on Saturday instead of Sunday, so probably Saturday.
Space right now is
No promises on that, but it's gonna be real soon.
OD cluttered right now.
Real soon.
Let me
Okay, here? Alright.
I'm low key eating.
Can y'all hear
So
me?
my
Can y'all
apologies.
hear me?
Oh,
Can y'all...
my YouTube is unmuted. So apologies for that. And I'm chewing like crazy. I'm chewing like crazy right now. Give me 2 seconds. I'll be back. And then we gonna start. What we gonna be doing today? I'm gonna react to two absolute videos because they've been going insane as of late. I'm gonna post this probably today. This one probably really soon. And if we have time, I wanted to watch It 2017. I do want to make a video on that very soon. If we do not watch it today, we're gonna watch it Saturday. Gotta watch it really soon. Crazy Echo is it muted now? It should be muted now. Everything should be muted. There shouldn't be an echo right now. If there is, let me know. But I'll be right back. And then we'll get started. Just give me 0.2 seconds.
Leg. Ken Lo is pressing my mans to no end, dog. Look at him. No! Why you do that? That's my guy! He looking like Kevin Hart getting twerked on by Megan. He cannot handle all that. And this is where Ken Lo pushes that nigga back in his set. And straight beats this nigga down. And then hit that. And I know he's hitting moves like Jagger right now, but just wait on it. This nigga about to go crazy. Peep the double parry into a flick. Flick, bop! And Ken Lo starts pressuring all over his body. He hits the legs, then the ribs. And then he said, you know what? Here go two more for y'all. Two kicks up the body. And Jackie tries to switch on that offense, going under the leg and tries to hug him. Oh, nigga, you gay. Nigga, even I'm confused, bro. What the f you got on, twin? This ain't Barney, my nigga. But Ken Lo breaks out and hits this frame one retort and spins to knock his head off. That would have had that nigga laid flat, deceased. And Jackie over there wiping his face, he literally saw his life flash before his eyes. And this nigga Ken Lo really turned around like... Oh! Weird. Buddy? You're weird. Like, my nigga, what even is this? I can't even think of a simile or a metaphor to think as a joke. Nigga, you're just weird. But Jackie hits that stance and we go right into round two. And it starts off with a pump fake. Ken Lo did all that just to not even hit him. Nigga, I'd be tight as hell. And peep the concentration in his eyes. He's watching his every move like he guarding prime Steph. But Ken Lo starts kicking. One to his chest.
Okay, can y'all hear me? Yes, no, maybe so. Can y'all hear me? Yes, no, maybe so. Y'all let me know, y'all let me know, y'all let me know. My fault for the slight wait. But we have indeed returned. Y'all can hear me? Alright, bet. Perfect. I bet. We can see the Zeph. Yes, sir, bro. Yes, sir, indeed. Let me yeah, we gonna get straight into it. I ain't gonna lie. When you playing Ghost of Yote again, I'm playing it right now. It's amazing. I'll see how you react to the story. I'll probably play it in parts here and there. Like I'll probably play some off cam, some on stream. I've not played it since we last streamed. So since what was it, Sunday? I haven't played it since Sunday. But whenever we gonna get to it. When you watching it on stream, if not tonight, it will be Saturday. I want to try. If we don't watch the whole thing tonight, I want to at least watch like half. Even though we might have to split it. It might be the only movie night we split. Potentially. That'll be kind of annoying. But if I do get to the point where we have to split it, because I do want to at least script some of it on Saturday. Because Saturday is going to be a longer stream, 1. And 2, I'm going to have a lot of time to script. So I want to have a script. I want to have at least a little bit of a script ready so I can record it on Saturday. So I want to at least watch a little bit. So even if I won't have time for the whole thing, I will definitely get on that. I finally caught one of these live. Hey, bro. Congratulations. Shout out to the YouTube, too. We are multi-streaming right now. Shout out to the YouTube. What's good with y'all? What's good with y'all? $10 dono by Rowdy Eggplod. Love the videos, twin. Keep up the grind. Have a tenner. I appreciate you, bro. You don't even have to gift like that, bro. You the GOAT, bro. You the GOAT. I would heart your donation, but I currently am not on my live account, so I can't heart it right now. I gotta go on my phone, but I appreciate you heavy for the dono, bro. Absolutely. And Hootie, what is it? Hutkey00 with the prime sub. I appreciate you, my brother. It's streaming tough in Congo. I'm not in Congo, nigga. What? I'm Congolese. I'm not Congo though. I'm not in Congo though, brother. I'm in America right now, bro. Let's lock in. Let's lock in. Come on now, bro. Let's lock in. Is it tough there? What do you mean by is it tough there? Like, is streaming like, you mean tough in like a good way, or like is it hard to do? I'd assume it's hard to do, but I don't know what you're talking about in the sense of tough. You know, tough could mean a lot of things. Tough can mean tough as in like a good way. In a good way, I don't know. I don't know any Congolese streamers. I don't know if it's a popular thing down there. It's definitely a market that could be pretty popular because, like, you know, I don't think the other, like, outside of America, streaming has really gone crazy. Besides, like, if you know Ibai, shout out Ibai, he's been going stupid. And, like, Speed is, like, the only really big, huge streamer on, like, outside of the world, for real. Like, on like, outside of America, I mean, not outside of the world, I'm stupid. But in that sense, let me put up this just so I can take a quick picture for the Instagram. Zeph, you planning to watch the Chainsaw Man movie? I am. He said it comes out the 24th in the U.S. I will definitely watch it. Potentially a video, too. I didn't know it was that soon. I'll see. I'm going to have a lot of videos out for this month, bro. Y'all be ready. Hopefully, because, you know, posting a lot is a blessing and a curse. You can either post a lot and it does well for you. You can post a lot and it does bad for you. I hope it does well. For me. Let me put this on Twitch. I'll put absolute comic reaction plus it movie 2017. Tap in. We'll go like this and then post it just like that. I might potentially make a video on it. Cause I do the arc that they're using for the movie. I really like the Rize arc. When I read that for the first time, I thought that was so tough. I thought it was so fire. Real life. I thought it was so fire. When we resuming Blue Lock. Loki don't know. Oh, shout out Lee. Huh? You got me at the worst time, Lee. I was eating yogurt. It spilled on my finger. Shout out Lee with the tier 1 sub. Gave it right back. I appreciate you, twin. Real life. Real life, you are 100% the GOAT, bro. I had to sub when you was live because I have not caught you live often. Next time, if we're ever live at the same time, I gotta raid you, bro. If we're ever live at the same time, I gotta raid you. Blue Lock when? Don't know when for real. Let me go run that back. Maybe when I post it on my YouTube channel, if there's a lot of people that want to see it, I'll definitely tap in on it. Either that or like Cog Robachi or something. I'll see what's up. there's so much I could potentially do. But we are going to start today's stream. Should I go bare chested or with the chain? I'm looking at the camera right now. Yo, I might low key be a little naked. Low key, high key, bro. Hold on. Give me once I might have to put the chain on, twin. I might potentially have to put the chain on, bro. Highest of high keys, bro. Might have to put the chain on, bro. Put that bit on. There we go. There we go. Hey, Zim there, kin, with the tier 1 sub. Hey, we going crazy today. 3 subs. We just started, my nigga. Hey, I appreciate y'all with the 3 subs, bro. All right, we're going to get started right now. This is Absolute Batman volume, if I'm not wrong, 13. Issue 13, not volume. Everyone gets so mad when I say volume instead of issue. I'm used to reading manga in volumes, so like I kind of call everything volumes. I'm very sorry. If it pisses you off, I see all the comments, bro. I'm very sorry it pisses you off, bro. It's a mistake of mine. But we will be tapping into issue 13. A lot of y'all said I should read comics or watch Comics Explained instead of Comic Historian, because he actually goes more in depth, and Comic Historian does skip a few things in his videos. So we're gonna try watching him today. If y'all prefer him over Comic Historian, let me know in the comments, and then we'll continue watching like the rest of like Absolute series with his videos instead of Comic Historians. But y'all can let me know. We could also try watching shout out my nigga Noah. He's been going crazy with the Absolute Batman stuff. We did watch some of his Invincible videos. I've not seen any of his Absolute Batman ones though, but like on stream at least. I've seen this one on my own time. But like he's been going crazy. The views been tough. The nigga's hilarious. You know what I'm saying? Shout out my man's Noah, my youngin right here. So if y'all wanted to see like a comedic recap of these as well, he doesn't skip details either. Like I forgot which one I watched. It was this one right here. Like he doesn't skip anything in the issues either. So like he's actually tough. Like he's actually tough to watch. I'm not gonna lie. He's actually it'd be tough to watch him, and you wouldn't miss any details. Just a lot more comedic compared to other ones. So we're going to start this right now. I'm gonna press play, like, comment, subscribe. Y'all let me know what it's about, and we'll just get started. Let's go.
Absolute Batman just introduced his newest villain, and it's kind of a shock. So hopefully the internet hasn't spoiled it by the time this video
I swear every time Selena Kyle's black, it just works. Is she black? Is she black? I know they're probably gonna unmask her in this issue. We gonna see. I heard she's Afro-Latina. Was that true or false? I don't know. Some of y'all niggas be online lying, especially on Twitter. I can't take that can't take that as fact. Can't take that as fact. Yeah, look at the chat already wilding. She's so bad. You know what I'm
picking
saying?
back up with Absolute Batman, continuing the Abomination storyline. What this does is, of course, picks up in the aftermath of the last video that we did, which was essentially Alfred Pennyworth being taken by surprise with the arrival of Absolute Catwoman. Now, here's a cool thing.
Yeah,
Absolute
Catwoman getting hoed. We don't talk about Alfred getting hoed the way that he has. Alfred's been getting dogged. Yo. Catwoman getting the drop on him is man. We gonna save that for later. But Catwoman getting the drop on him is a little crazy. Tell me not, Chad. I feel like that's kind of insane.
Woman has been around the Absolute Universe for quite some time, right? We know that it's Selena Kyle, and we know she's been there kind of doing things, but this is one of the first real meaningful interactions that you get between herself and Bruce and their costumes. Because as you guys know from reading DC Comics, when Selena Kyle
that's her?
and Bruce Wayne are just their normal selves, right?
Oh, they get nasty with it? They get nasty with it? Oh, yeah, she definitely got some melanin. Look at the curls on the hair, bro. This definitely... What y'all thinking? To all my black niggas in the chat, what this is? 4C? 4A? What type of hair this is, man? Oh, she definitely got some melanin in there. See, there is definitely some Negro inside. Hey. Yo, my nigga Bruce, man. Let me get her. She's so bad. Yo, oh, nah. Nah, man, y'all. They tweaked. They sleeping on money? Oh, they wildin'. Nah, they wildin', bro. On me, they wildin'. They sleeping on money. That's goals, right? Yo, I ain't
from
gonna
reading
lie, yo.
DC Comics,
see what they got
when
going on.
Selina Kyle and Bruce Wayne are just their normal selves, right? Bruce Wayne and Selina Kyle walking down the street, they interact one way. But when it's Batman and Catwoman on a rooftop somewhere, their dynamic completely shifts, whether the writer intends for that to be the case or not. And that's kind of what you see here, because Bruce asks the question, why are you here, Selina? And she says, look at us, right? Our ears match. I'm here because your mother called me. And he just says, I'll ask one last time. And she's like, I mean, she actually did, right? But come on, Bruce, like, you've been missing for months. I was worried, right? Like, I can't.
Bro, Bane had that nigga fighting for his life. Bro, I like, that's like the detail that I think people are not grabbing enough. Like, I know people have seen like how he did Penguin and all that, but it's like he had Batman, the Batman, captured for like 2 months straight. Like, if that should be like the number one priority thing, even though like he beat Cobblepot into such like an absurd degree. Dude, I feel like that's you chaining Batman and having him locked up for 2 months straight, I think is a much more bigger deal than beating up Cobblepot. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like y'all in the chat right now could beat up Cobblepot. In my opinion. In my humble opinion, but we gonna have to see.
Help.
Let's see what's up.
And Bruce's response, I do not need your help. Now, something to understand here, and this only makes sense in the context of the larger Absolute Batman story. If you have not been keeping up with Absolute Batman, or this is your first video, it looks like Bruce Wayne just being a crotchety dude, like he always is, right? You know, Batman being a dick. But like the reality here is that this is kind of coming off the heels of everything that's happened. Because keep in mind, right, Bruce Wayne donning the mantle of Batman in the Absolute Universe was to try to make Gotham a better place. Along the way, he ends up facing off against Black Mask, who warns him, if you topple me, something worse will arrive in your city. And Bruce ignored it. Right, Bruce thought that he had the upper hand, only for...
And then literally the worst villain he has faced ever shows up, bro. It's crazy. Yeah, on the screen, by the way.
Absolute Bane to show up.
Literally.
He crumpled his friend Oswald Cobblepot like a piece of paper, and that's why he's the Penguin. He literally destroyed the skull of Riddler, hooked his brain up to all kinds of electrodes and whatnot, and that's how he becomes the Riddler. He lit the entire side of Harvey Dent on fire, and that made him Two-Face. And this, of course, is coming off the death of his father, which we learned about in the first story arc called The Zoo.
Goodness. Yo, this panel this has got to be the most insane panel I've ever seen in my life. Bro, has Bane ever been this brutal in any other comic? Y'all let me know. I only really know him from, I've not read many comics with Bane in it. I'll be honest. I can't even name one off the top of my head. I only really know the movie that he's in with Christian Bale and Lego Batman. If I'm not wrong, one of the animated shows got him in there. I don't think he's in the old one, like the 1990 Batman animated series. I don't think he's in there, but I'm pretty sure he's in like Brave and the Bold, if I'm not wrong. Could be wrong on that, but I don't know much about Bane. Everyone knows his like back-breaking thing. I don't know much about Bane. This might be the most brutal one, though. That's from what people were saying, and from how he's moving. This man is a menace. Arkham Origins 2, yes, the Arkham games as well. That also had Bane in it. But, goddamn.
So his life has really been nothing but loss and sacrifice. But more recently, him becoming Batman has cost him so much. So that's where this is coming from, right? I don't need your help, which is really a statement of saying you should not be here. And he's not directly stating, because if you are here, something bad could happen to you, and I cannot handle that. That's really what he's saying.
Can't at all. Look, bro, you saw that nigga face. Look at his face of straight turmoil, right? Yo, he don't want to be here, bro. I have never seen Batman have such a face of straight despair in my life. Yo, he don't want to be here for real. He don't want to be. This is literally the dog meme, bro. He don't want to be here for real. I play the Big Sean music right now. He hit the Yo, he don't want to be here, my nigga. Come on, bro.
Here, right? It's a very, very great moment with Scott Snyder. And so that's why she says clearly, I mean, you've got such a superstar team already because Alfred Pennyworth is just sitting under her foot, right? And that's where Alfred just says, like, I've heard about you, the Catwoman, what you pulled in Penang, no loyalty or anything. And that's when she just like wraps her whip around his neck, which, I mean, let's be honest with ourselves. Catwoman wrapping her whip around.
I can name 30 of y'all in this chat right now that would want to be exactly where Alfred is right now. I couldn't even blame y'all either. Couldn't even blame y'all either. Craziest thing about Absolute Batman is that he's a brolic menace and he's still the underdog. Truly, bro. That's what makes it so interesting to watch. Cause he is one of the most cracked Batmans in terms of like literal opposing force, and he's getting dogged by everybody. Like, it's crazy.
Our next, I can't think of anybody who would say no. But she says, all right, like if I'm not wanted, I can leave. What's it going to be? And this is one of those really interesting elements of Alfred Pennyworth, because I want to pitch something to you guys, right? Alfred says, do not trust her, kid. And this is an important thing because up until this point in time, Alfred Pennyworth has kind of been the mentor for Bruce Wayne in a lot of ways. He's not like the main DC universe where he was a kindly butler who raised Bruce Wayne after his parents were killed. And at one point he was in the army, served as a medic, and that's how he patches Bruce Wayne up. And he's got contacts from his old days, which is how he's able to help Bruce Wayne out in various ways, depending on what's happening in the story. No. This Alfred is literally a merc, right? I mean, this guy, this guy is a soldier of fortune, right? And so he's kind of taught Bruce Wayne what he needs to know from battle strategy. But Selina Kyle only really means.
Do y'all like the change that they did with Alfred here? I do like the different approach.
Good here.
I don't know how much his mentorship has helped yet, because he was very impressed by Batman when he first met him. Like he was like, oh no, this kid is something else. And like Batman did beat him, quote unquote, in their first interaction. So y'all can let me know whether you think if you guys like this adaptation of, I'm forgetting his name, Alfred. this adaptation of Alfred. Sorry, I saw something in the chat and it just blanked me. If you guys like this adaptation of Alfred, definitely let me know.
And so the question that I would pitch to you guys is Alfred really actually helping Bruce Wayne? Is he actually doing what's best for Bruce? Or is there something under the radar that's happening here? Is he a Trojan horse for absolute Joker? And you guys will see what I'm talking about here in a minute, because the response of Bruce Wayne, right, and talking to Alfred is like, enough, right? Like, I don't need advice. She's leaving right now. And when Bruce says she's leaving, he means they're leaving, and they're
a Trojan horse for Joker. That's an interesting take.
Here. Is he a Trojan horse for absolute Joker? Something under the radar that's happening here. Is he a Trojan horse for absolute Joker? And you guys will see what I'm talking about here in a minute, because the response of Bruce Wayne, right, and talking to Alfred is like, enough, right? Like, I don't need advice. She's leaving right now. And when Bruce says she's leaving, he means they're leaving and they're going back to their place. And
yo, when I read this, if y'all already read this, let me know. Is this the direct next page? Is this I'm gonna read this after stream. I always read the comics after stream. Is this the direct next page? Yo, I will be crying if so. He says she's leaving right now. Look out, dude. This man was on time, man. This horny ass, I swear to God, bro.
Right now. And when Bruce said
you blame a nigga though,
she's leaving, he means they're leaving and they're going back.
Though? Y'all say yeah? Yo, nah, he's Nah, Bruce. Nah, Bruce. This the page after? Nah, this nigga white. I ain't gonna lie, nigga just like me though. That nigga just like me though. That nigga, I gotta play it. Hold on, I gotta play it. I gotta play to play it. Cause I know you see her right here though. Let me get that shit so. Yo, nigga tweaking. I did
to their place and they're going to touch naughty bits, which is exactly what they do, right? It's a very intimate and romantic moment. And it's one of the things that I'm glad Scott Snyder's keeping, right? That whole kind of relationship between Bruce Wayne and Selina Kyle is a hallmark of the Batman comics, right? The will they, won't they, on again, off again type of thing.
Nice softy.
But that's when Bruce Wayne just kind of sits up. And of course, having been...
Hold on. I ain't gonna lie. Bruce getting happiness like this, y'all realize the moment Bane stopped torturing him, Selina Kyle just enters his life again. And he gets blessed with this. I'm telling you, Darkseid's plotting something. Darkseid's plotting something, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. She might be Joker's first body. Y'all let me know. I think she gonna be. I don't think she's passing issue 20. She gonna be Joker's first body. Dude, you telling me she just come back after Bane did all that to him, and then he just gets happiness like this? Nah, I don't.
Again,
buy it.
off again type of thing.
buy it.
But that's when Bruce Wayne just kind of sits up. And of course, having been experimented
Maybe
on.
portray him too. You never know. Y'all saying that she was definitely honey trapping him. Who knows? She might backdoor him. I don't think so. But we gonna see.
In Arc M, and being given the Venom formula the same way that Bane has, of course, as most everybody knows by now, it's in the shape of a bat on his back. Selina just asked, right?
I think she'll get murked. I don't think she's backdooring him.
What did they do to you? And that's where Bruce is like, is that really what you want to ask about Selina? And she just says no. Bruce kind of avoids this at every opportunity. He never really talks about what happened to him in that place. Instead, he just sort of brushes it off, where it's like, I don't really want to discuss it, or anything along those lines. And so he just kind of changes the subject. He says, so your helmet, right? It looks a lot like the gear that Black Mask uses. And she asks the question, is that really what you want to talk about, Bruce? And he says no. And then he's just like, do you want to go on a date, right? So the interesting...
Yeah, that man applying pressure. Why does Bruce have a buzz cut? Cause of what Bane put him through, my nigga. I'm pretty sure they cut his hair. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure they cut his hair. But nah. Yo, that man applying pressure. Mic is type lower. Is it me? Y'all saying that all the time. Is it really that low? Let me put the volume up on it. No. Let me try this. No. That got worse. Someone else said that too. Is it actually that low? You put the gain up. If I go like this, is that better? Let me keep going. Is this better? Or is this too loud? Y'all let me know. Yes, no, maybe so. This better? That's good? I bet.
Thing about Selina and Bruce here is kind of a lot of what you see in the main DC universe. They're in love, they care about each other, but there's a wall. They never really let the other person in, right? I mean, they're physically intimate and they're physically vulnerable, but emotionally intimate and emotionally vulnerable. The true meaning of interpersonal connection.
This flick fire. I did see this before I even got on stream. This flick
kind of like
fire
that in a lot of different ways.
This flick,
and so that's when they take off out into the street. And it's pretty much...
Yo, shout out the artist for this, man. He is so tough, man. Oh, man, that nigga's so tough, bro.
Everything that you would hope it would be. It's kind of awesome, right? Because when they arrive at this sort of carnival, Bruce says they're called the Red Hood. They're an outlaw collective. Hacking, disruption. We had a loose alliance. And so Selina asks, and this is their hangout, right? So if it is their hangout, then where are they? And that's where the Red Hood gang pops up and they say, you are not welcome here. And they literally say, stand down. Wasn't that your order to us? But we do not take orders from anyone, do we? And that's where everybody's just like, nope, we absolutely don't. And he's just told, get out. And Bruce just says, we're not leaving until we speak with your leader. And that's where the gang is just like, have it your way, right? And Selina's like, this is my kind of date, Bruce. Right? Let's just beat the crap out of people. She brandishes a bull.
That is tough though. Yo, imagine you're a superhero and you just have a shorty that you could just run up and beat up niggas with, bro. Like Gohan and Videl when they was both Saiyaman or something like that. Like, that's tough. Spider-Man and Black Cat was moving like that too. It's
Rifle,
fire, bro.
and opens fire on all these guys. And my initial
something about the cat girls, man. On some no furry stuff, but on some furry stuff, bro. Like, high key. Niggas be plotting.
Is that she was using live ammunition.
I was muscle? Like, yeah, she buff. Look at her, bro. She buff as hell.
Jesus Christ, Scott Snyder. Like, you're having Catwoman open fire on a crowd of people? Like, holy hell. And even Bruce is just like, what are you doing, right? They're just kids. And she's like,
if Batman is questioning what you're doing, that's how you know you're doing something wrong. That's how you know you're doing something wrong, bro. Y'all saw my video I just dropped. This nigga's a demon. This nigga demon. You know you're doing something wrong if he's questioning.
But she's like, take
it
easy, right? It's just a cat nap. Because she's basically firing tranquilizer darts. Now she's firing tranquilizer darts from an automatic bullpup style rifle. So some of these guys are probably getting more than one. But the fact is, it's really just kind of knocking him out. At that point, one of the members of the Red Hood gang from up above fires a bazooka at these guys.
No way.
And Batman, in this moment where he kind of starts to turn, actually starts to channel the power of the Venom formula and knocks down the entire Ferris wheel. Literally knocks out the foundation of this thing.
They done gave this nigga powers. Oh my gosh. If you are in Gotham, you better not do as much as jaywalk. You better not do as much as drive with no seatbelt. Nigga, they gave Batman superpowers. I know they injected him with the
Ferris
bro.
wheel. Literally.
This nigga knocked down a Ferris wheel, my nigga. Oh, okay. See, now this levels the playing field. Now I understand why Joker looks like the way that he does. This nigga we got Super Soldier Batman. We got Super Soldier Serum Batman, my nigga. Oh, he gonna go, man. Yo, I'm pray for the villains, bro. This puts Joker at a much more even playing field, bro. I can see why he got such a Elden Ring demon design when they're gonna have Batman moving like Bane with these,
and
like,
knocks
man.
down the entire Ferris wheel. Literally knocks out the foundation of this thing and sends it crashing.
Batman already
into
scary
the ground.
as a human
Now,
with
we already
superpowers. He's
know
gonna be
that,
a menace.
his...
Nah, literally, bro. That's the point. He's gonna be a whole menace. Their end goal is to make Batman to another Bane, basically a slave hitman for the rich elite. Bro, that might have flew over my head. I ain't gonna lie, bro. But I do know that's why they were injecting him for a reason. But that's crazy. He'd be a perfect hitman too. That's probably why they got him. He'd be a perfect hitman too.
Bruce Wayne is like basically 7 feet tall, 420 pounds. Dude is a hoss. You know what I mean? Like, he is gigantic. But with the Venom formula coursing through his veins, it's all the more dire, because as he starts to use it, he starts to lose himself. And where Selina walks up on him, right, she was like, what the hell was that, right? Are you all right? He just says, get away from me right now. And this is not him lashing out at her. Instead, it's the Red Hood gang actually looking at everything, and they're like, oh my God, like, he's one of them, right? And one of the guys says the boss was right? They are making monsters. And Selina tries to bring him down, right? You know, listen to my voice. It's all right. You need to calm down. You need to get it under control. And the Red Hood gang actually has this idea of attacking him in that moment. And that's where Bruce says, wait, right? He was like, I told you to stand down, because the truth is they almost broke me in a place called Ark M, where they do make monsters, abominations like a man called Bane, but they did not break me. And now I'm going to destroy him. And not just him, his bosses, Ark M. I'm going to burn it all to the ground, but I need your help. And that's where one of the guys is like, you're the...
Man, ain't that so? I cannot wait when he runs back on Bane. I can't wait till he runs back on Bane. I cannot wait. They building up something crazy. Now, I don't know if they've revealed if one of the bosses at Ark M is like Joker or something like that. But there's definitely going to be other people in the Rogues Gallery that I think are going to be recontextualized for Ark M. Bro, I can't wait. This going to be, whenever that arc starts, that's going to be something crazy. Is Absolute Bane the best Bane? I would probably say so. I'd probably say so. This run back is going to be absolutely necessary, bro. Absolutely necessary, man.
The abomination, man. Like, we have to get him. And this voice comes out of nowhere and says, hold it, right? And they say, I was never sure about you. I'm still not. But if you're really talking about burning down Ark M, now you're speaking my language. And she says,
that's Harley Quinn? Yo! No way. Joker does not work at Ark M. Ark M is basically in charge of making monsters. Yeah, I know that, but I just want to know, did they reveal any of like the leaders of like Ark M? Don't remember if they do. But bruh, nigga, this Harley Quinn? Y'all messing with this design. That's why she was trending on Twitter. I thought this was a character I didn't know. I'm not gonna lie and mess with the design. I know some people are gonna be like, oh, she's not bad, man. Like, yeah, she's bald. She looks like she's a thug and all that. I wonder how the connection with her and Joker are gonna be. Yeah, look at all y'all saying ew, chopped, this, that, the third. Like, this is tough, bro. Y'all niggas just D-riding. I ain't gonna lie. Y'all D-riding. I like this design, bro. This is tough. Checkers on the neck is crazy. Yo, these neck tattoos gotta stop. What does this even say, bro? She got a playful neck. She got a deck of cards as a, like, you know, this is literally on a deck of cards, bro. She got a playful neck. She got a playful throat. Like, nah, bro. This is crazy. This is an insane tat. Other than that, she got a fire design. But we gotta chill on these neck tattoos, bro. I ain't gonna lie. The buzz cut is bunched. She's supposed to have the hood on, yo. She's supposed to have the hood on.
Harley Quinn, leader of the Red Hood.
That's tough.
What's the plan? Absolute Harley Quinn is here. Thank God. Now, the real question here is the weapon she has, of course, nunchucks. Nunchucks are dope.
Oh,
Technically,
shoot.
they're illegal to own in the United States. But the question here is this. Which one do you
They're
nunchucks
illegal?
are dope? Technically, they're illegal to own in the United States. But
They are? Say you swear. Say you swear. Damn, there's bans on it in my state. Wow, really? Yeah, I didn't even know that. That's insane. I didn't know they were banned. Nunchucks. They are brutal as hell, though, bro. They are extremely brutal. Like, this is literally just like metal you could swing. Like, that... I can see why that's banned, but goddamn, bro.
the question here is this.
That's insane.
Which one do you guys think is better? Harley Quinn with a mallet or Harley Quinn with nunchucks? Knowing
Not really.
that
What y'all think is better? I think mallet. I think it's clear mallet, but...
we haven't seen her with nunchucks. Maybe she's like Bruce Lee, right? She's just going to start pushing people's shit in with nunchucks, right? Just dominating people with these things. We don't really know. But what we end up doing is jumping to Bane. Now, one of the cool things about this is that we learn a little more of what's going on here, right? That we get this statement where they say, good news, we've managed to push your system even further. As of this moment, you're officially at maximum infusion. We never imagined a human body could reach these levels. If I may say so, it's a real inspiration to be working with you, Bane. You're a damn unicorn.
Look at this man's freaking back. You're a damn unicorn. Yeah, no freaking wonder. Look how he's built, bro. This is insane. That is insane. Is that a Sandevis stand? No, yo. Shout out Cyberpunk Edge Runners. That low-key is a Sandevis stand. No wonder he's moving the way that he does, bro. He probably got a Sandevis stand. I don't know who gave him that. No wonder he was flash stepping everywhere. Come on, bro.
It's a real inspiration to be working with you, Bane. You're a damn unicorn. And of course, Bane responds and he says, a wild ass, good for work, whose meat is too bitter to eat. That's from the first ever description
Hey, wild booty, good for work whose meat is... Oh, I'm about to say, like...
of a unicorn doctor.
Hold
and he
on.
says, soon you'll have my replacement, and he will have his new Bane. Then I'll finally go home. And the question's asked, forgive me for asking, but you really believe that he will let you go? And Bane just simply says he has to. I've given him everything. Any moment now, Batman will give in, and my work will be over.
Who's
now, of course,
he?
what Bane is referring...
I think he... Who's he? That they're referring to the Joker? Who's the he in this scenario?
To is Absolute Joker. If you guys remember the video that we did, and again, it's in the Absolute Batman playlist, it was the origin of Absolute Bane, right? That he was approached by Joker and basically became the Joker's soldier, became what he is now, to work on behalf of the Joker as essentially his hired muscle. But the other big takeaway from this...
I remember this.
And this kind of...
I remember this. We was getting distracted by the booty. That's probably why I don't remember. Remember once it's been like a month?
But
Two?
the other big takeaway from
I remember we was distracted by the like. He's swiping away right when it gets there. He's lucky. I'm not gonna go back again. But they was sticking a bit back there. That whole issue. I remember that.
And it's kind of easy to skim over here. The idea that Bane is just now at maximum infusion, it means that what we saw him do before was not even him at his strongest. It was not even Bane at his absolute peak. That was Bane.
Insane, bro. Nigga wasn't even full pop, bro. Come on, man.
Maybe
Come
80%.
on,
Right? It's Frieza, right? I've been using 1% of my power.
Literally.
Right? I mean, it's bonkers. It's absolute bonkers what we're getting here. And it's kind of crazy when you think about that, because you can only imagine what he'll actually look like when he's at his peak. But at that point, the entire conversation between the Doctor and Bane is halted by one of the lab assistants who says, you're going to want to see this. And you end up finding out that Bruce Wayne has basically hijacked all the news feeds in Gotham City. In the middle of this news anchor talking, right, basically being a mouthpiece for the mayor, that Batman just says, shut up. Right? And he says, people of Gotham, our city is under attack, not by criminals or outlaws, but by its own leaders. Leaders who have sold Gotham out to line their own pockets, who've sold our safety, our freedom. There's nothing they will not sell.
Okay.
They've even sold the ground beneath our feet, where right now they are growing actual monsters, horrors, too terrible to imagine. I tried to show you with Black Mask, but I made the mistake of relying on the news networks. Not anymore. This time, I will show you myself.
Shout out Dark Pup with the $2 dono. Joker's not gonna let someone like Bane go. Definitely not. Definitely not. Come on, bro. You have a generational prospect like Bane. You're gonna just let him go? Let's be serious, bro. If you look at it from an NBA team perspective, you letting a nigga like Giannis just walk out your team? No, you're not, my nigga. No, you're not, bro. No, you're not, bro. No, you're not. When are you gonna watch Absolute Wonder Woman? I'm gonna probably have an Absolute marathon where I'm gonna catch up to every single Absolute series. I'm gonna make a video about it on my main channel. Don't know when, but I'm going to probably really soon on stream. I'm gonna binge all of them. Every single Absolute series I'm gonna binge. So keep your eye out for that, though. Keep your eye out for that. So I'm definitely gonna catch up. I only really seen the Batman one, and we read one issue of Superman. I'm gonna go back and probably rewatch it. 'Cause I don't remember it like that. So we're gonna have to go through this whole thing.
Because I'm going to drag one of these monsters out into the light for all of you to see. And then I'm going to beat his ass. I'm talking about you, Bane. I know that you're listening. Tomorrow, midnight, the Old Veterans Arena. You and me alone. You win.
This nigga called in ISO on Bane? This man on IG Live. Yo, I'm gonna make a short about this like tomorrow. Let me message myself so I remember this. You dead called your biggest op on IG Live. Bro, this might either be the coldest ISO call out I've seen in my life, or this might be the biggest L bruh. You got completely dog walked the last time y'all seen each other. And you have the balls to ISO call him on TV, national TV. There's not a single person on this street that did not hear your voice. And they're going to be aware that you caught this L. If you do not show out, oh, that's crazy. Oh, you got balls for that, big bro. I ain't
Go
gonna
back
lie.
to Arc M
That's
and
crazy.
become whatever you want, but you will not win. And you people of Gotham get to watch. And just in case any of you are wondering who I am Batman. And at
That's
that moment,
tough.
he ends the feed. And so in
That
that
is
moment,
so hard.
we actually jump back to a
Oh
moment
my
between
goodness,
Bruce Wayne
that is
and
so
Waylon
hard.
Jones.
Yo, I'm making a short on that tomorrow. That is so hard, bro. That is so hard.
And we actually jump back
Oh
to
my
a moment
goodness.
between Bruce Wayne and Waylon Jones. And this is a very, very important moment between these characters in the story, because it kind of builds into the tragedy of Waylon, but it also shows why Bruce Wayne is doing so much of what he's doing. Because what this does is it switches to a conversation between these guys, because Waylon asks, right, all the way to the 7th, and Bruce says the end of the 7th, Waylon. He says, you last right up to the bell. That's much further than anyone has you going. Every single site has you down by the 3rd. Maybe the 3rd. And he says, this way you go out with dignity and you make enough cash to open the gym. you win. Now, of course, what Bruce Wayne's talking about here, and it's kind of a behind-the-scenes story, background story, is that in the past, before Waylon Jones became Absolute Killer Croc, he was going to be in a boxing match, a fight, with a guy named Bibbo Babowski. But the reality here was that Bruce didn't think he could win. He didn't really have any faith in his own friend. He called it honesty, but in a lot of ways, it was kind of a betrayal. And that betrayal was exacerbated by the fact that he and Selina Kyle had gone to Falcone, I like calling him Falcone. They had gone to that guy and basically arranged a deal, right? The idea was that essentially Waylon Jones would fall. Like, he would take a fall. He would throw the fight. And that's what Bruce is telling Waylon about here. And Waylon just asks, he says, do you know why I hired you to train me, Bruce? I mean, skill-wise, you're mediocre at best. He says, I hired you because you're my best friend. Guys like Bibbo, Falcone, they're ruining our city. So no, I don't want to cut a deal with them. I want to beat them here in this ring with someone in my corner who believes in me, man. Believes in...
Wow. Damn. I ain't gonna lie, that's low-key a whole move from Bruce. I get that you was trying to make your friend feel good. Low-key a whole move from Bruce, though. You don't believe your friend to the extent where you try to rig the match. It's kind of crazy. I ain't gonna lie. But...
all of it. And what we've been through, you, me, the odds we've overcome.
What y'all thinking? This L Man's or W Man's? What y'all thinking? This L Man's move or W Man's move? What y'all thinking?
I thought you were that person, but I guess I was wrong. So you, Bruce Wayne, are fired. And Bruce tries to seemingly apologize here, but Waylon just says no, right? He says, and I'm going past the 7th. I'm going to win the whole thing. Now get out of here. I have a fight to get ready for. And so it's Waylon Jones' feeling of incredible betrayal by Bruce Wayne. And that feeling of betrayal seemingly never went away. And so when Bruce Wayne became Batman, and then Waylon Jones was taken by Arc M because of Batman's actions with regards to Black Mask, Batman carries that weight with him everywhere he goes. And so when you switch back to Bruce and Selina, right? Selina says there's not much around the vet to use to your advantage. And that's where Bruce says no, right? That's the point. It's isolated. It's run down. Just me and him. Last man standing. And so she says, I get it, right? I just need you to promise me one thing. And Bruce asks, right? He's like, what is it? Like, what is it that you want me to promise? And she says, do not use the venom, Bruce. It's what they want, and it's not worth it. I've seen what it does to people. And that's the interesting thing, is because Bruce kind of already seems to be tumbling down the path. And while we haven't necessarily seen the...
To the person who asked about the buzz cut, this is why they cut them both. This is why.
Ins and outs of everything that Bane did when he first received Venom and the injections from Absolute Joker, it seems to have followed this pattern, because Bruce says, when I use it, I could see every move those Red Hood kids were going to make. I was 10 steps ahead, 50 steps. I just have to learn how to control it. But Venom is the only way that I can win. And that seemed to be the case of Bane, that the Venom formula does enhance your mind and your body. It puts you that much further ahead of everybody. You become a master of strategy in a way that most people can only dream. Bruce Wayne was told by Alfred that's the effects of Venom, and Bruce Wayne witnessed it firsthand when Bane pummeled him like a rag doll. And that's kind of what Bruce is starting to adopt. He's tumbling down this rabbit hole of needing Venom in order to come out on top. And that's why Selina says it's not the only way. You have people who can help. I can help. And Bruce just says, you have not seen him, and you have not seen what he can do. But she says,
that's how you know Bane that nigga. If you got Batman speaking like that, bro, that's how you know Bane is that nigga. He said you don't know him. You don't know what he's about. That's how niggas was talking about John Wick, by the way. Insane, bro.
I have. Because she has seen what happened to Harvey Dent. She saw what happened to Edward Nygma. She saw what happened to Oswald Cobblepot. Sure, she herself has not been grasped by Bane and crushed in some capacity, but she's still seen what he can do. And she says, they're my friends too, Bruce. Even when I'm not here, I want to take this Bane down as badly as you do, but not like this. And so Bruce fires his own words back at her, right? Where he says, if the rules aren't fair, stop playing by them. That's what you said. And she just kind of says, well, you know, maybe I was wrong. And his response, it's easy to say that now that you've got everything, right? Like now that you've achieved everything that you wanted, or you have all the stuff that you were acquiring, right? Your gear, your suit, your gadgets. Now you have the luxury of sitting back and saying, well, maybe I didn't go about it the best way, right? But you've crossed the finish line, right? Words like that don't mean anything once you've crossed the line. They matter when you're on your way to that finish line, because then you can turn back and you turn down what you were shooting for because you realize the way in which you were trying to get it was the wrong way to do it. And that's what Bruce says, right? Look at your helmet, your gear. Don't tell me that you got where you are by playing clean. And she just says, no, right? I didn't. But you're better than this, and you always were. And that's where Bruce just says, not anymore. Right? I'm going to wreck that guy, and I'm using the venom. If you can't handle it, then maybe you should go again. And her response, maybe I should, right? Take care of yourself, Wayne. And she just seemingly walks away. And that's where Alfred just says, I'd ask you if you're all right, but I already know the answer, right? You're just going to say that you're fine. And Bruce, of course, says, you know, I am fine. And Alfred says, good. This is the part I was telling you about, kid. The part where you have to push through the tunnel. You stop, you even slow down, you'll get ground up. So let go of what you were, that man, soft and weak. Bury him deep in the mud and become what you need to be, what you were meant to be, and rise as the monster, because this is war and there are no rules except winning. That's why I'm asking you the question, is Alfred actually helping Bruce, or is Alfred mentally preparing Bruce to replace Bane, because Alfred actually works for Absolute Joker? Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section.
That'd be crazy.
That being said, we're going to bring this to an end. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this.
That's an interesting theory. That would be crazy if so. That would be crazy if so. That'd be crazy if so. That's a very interesting theory. And that would probably break. I don't know about break the internet, quote unquote, but that would. Oh man, I don't even know what that would do to people if that was real. But shout out Comics Play. I actually really liked this video. It did go way more in depth. Gave me a lot more to talk about. As you can see, the recording was actually 40 minutes. This is a 19-minute video. The recording's 40 minutes. I'm telling you, I am truly the second coming of I'm Dante. I'm not gonna lie. Hey, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, man. All that jazz, bruh. I shall see y'all. I'm gonna end the recording. I'm gonna immediately add this to the drive. I'm gonna post this like. I'm probably gonna have this posted while I'm on stream, like right now. Also wanted to react to this real quick, cause what is it? How long is the It movie, bro? It movie 2017. 2 hour 12. Yeah, definitely not. You know me. I'm making this is 3 hours to me. I'm making that 3 hours. I'll definitely probably watch it Saturday. We'll watch this video though. Now I have a bunch of videos on like my doc that I could get to. So we gonna get to this right here. 4 hours. Nah, I ain't gonna gas it at that point. But I'll turn that 2 hour movie to like 3 hour 30, bro. So I'm gonna watch this. How Darkseid made the Absolute Universe. Hold on, let me start this up. So we're gonna watch how Darkseid made the Absolute Universe. This dropped 3 days ago. I was actually recommended to this video by someone on Twitter. Let me see if I can find the tweet, just so I can shout him out. Let's see. I did post on Twitter, by the way. Posted this right here. This actually went crazy. 242. Well, goddamn. Let me go through my mentions. If I am not wrong, it should be pretty high up. Let me go take a look. Yeah, right here. Shout out Mr. Doom. You should watch this on stream. How Darkseid made the Absolute Universe. We'll definitely watch this just so we could get an understanding of it. Again, I'm probably going to run an Absolute marathon at some point. Don't know when yet. But definitely going to be running an Absolute marathon. So, we're going to get to this. And, yeah, that's kind of all I had to say. Let's go.
There's Absolute Universe crossover coming up. I've seen a lot of questions from people who have been asking about the Absolute Universe. Where did it come from? How does the whole thing work? And while we have explained that over the course of several videos, and in fact, you'll find a playlist on the main channel that literally says, new to the Absolute Universe, start here. What this video will do is condense all that information down into one digestible bite. So at the very least, you have a more solid understanding of how this all came to be and where to start when it comes to the Absolute Universe. So, the formation of the Absolute Universe actually has its roots in a story called Absolute Power. And while it may seem kind of strange here, Absolute Power is not the reason or the catalyst for the creation of the Absolute Universe. However, you guys will see how the two tie together here in a second. Because while the Absolute Power story largely just focused on Amanda Waller doing Amanda Waller things, right? Trying to destroy the superhero community. Over the course of that story, the Flash Barry Allen had learned that Amanda Waller was building a multiversal army. And so he realized the only way to essentially stem the flow of this army and prevent its invasion was to destroy the multiversal gateway that was being used to bring those individuals in. Now, the destruction of that gateway had the side effect of cutting the main...
Yo, every single time I learn something about Amanda Waller, it's like the most heinous thing ever. We're gonna talk about Peacemaker right after this, because I did finish Peacemaker season 1, so I do want to talk about that as well. Yo, Amanda Waller is genuinely like just a terrible person. She's like, she's evil Nick Fury. Like, just completely evil Nick Fury, bro. It's actually insane. If they say Cecil is bad, who do y'all think is worse between Cecil and Amanda Waller? It's actually a good one. I don't know. Has Amanda Waller done something as bad as Cecil just having Conquest locked up knowing that she's going to escape? Probably. I feel like Amanda Waller has definitely done something. We were literally seeing right now, she's building a multiversal army. Amanda Waller, I think, is legitimately like, she's just warped. Like, she's not fighting for justice at this point. Like, I think Cecil's definitely questionable, but you could tell he's like, if the Earth was at peace, he wouldn't be doing what he was doing. Amanda Waller, I feel like even if the Earth was calmed down, she would do whatever in her power to make sure she's still in power. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think, like, Waller's terrible. I feel like Waller's worse. Y'all let me know. Everyone in the chat saying Amanda's worse, so yeah, okay. I feel like Amanda's 100% worse, bro.
DC universe off from the rest of the multiverse. The only exception to that was one particular world. Now, what this did is this segued directly into a one-shot comic that was the DC All-In Special, which deals with this one singular world that the main DC universe seems to have access to. And in fact, the DC All-In Special essentially tells the same set of events from two different perspectives. The first perspective is from...
She cloned Batman. How'd she do that? Who gave Amanda Waller the ability to clone a Batman? Who let her do that?
The superheroes. The second perspective is from Darkseid. Now, the superhero segment is pretty important here, so it is worth covering. The long and short of this is that the main roster of the DC universe, right? So Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Mr. Terrific, they'd all kind of come to this realization that while the superheroes do have a positive impact on the world, they could have a more measurable impact if they truly became what the Justice League is supposed to be. And so they formed Justice League Unlimited, which Booster Gold was brought on board as a member of. But almost immediately after the JLU forms, you basically have an invasion from Darkseid who's channeling the power of the Spectre. Now, at that point in the story, we didn't know where he got it from. We had no idea how that happened. He was just immensely powerful. And while Darkseid in and of himself is incredibly powerful, with the power of the Spectre, the living embodiment of God's judgment, he was more powerful than he had ever been. And so while Darkseid fought the Justice League Unlimited,
the living embodiment of God's judgment. Yo, comics be making stuff up. How do you have a weapon that is the living embodiment of God's judgment, and Darkseid could just get that weapon? Nigga, yo, comics be frying me, bro. Niggas should not be having this amount of power just sitting around in the universe, bro. Let's be serious.
team,
Let's be
ultimately
real, bro.
Darkseid was quote-unquote
Come on, man.
destroyed. The issue with that is that his death, his destruction, left an almost kind of a tear in space, for lack of a better word. And while it was being analyzed by Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Orion, and Mr. Terrific, that what Mr. Terrific established here was that prior to the DC Universe being cut off from the main multiverse, they had become aware of a different reality, which Superman initially theorized to be the Elseworld, but the reality is it was more like an alpha world, that it was a universe that was just kind of coming into existence. It was basically forming for the very first time, but something in that universe had suddenly changed, that it no longer had the same energy signature that it had before. Now it was permeating with the energy signature of Darkseid. And so after a little bit of a discussion, they come to the realization the only individuals who can actually travel to that world now are basically time travelers, which brought in Booster Gold. And so for those of you guys who have been following our coverage of the Superman comic, where he essentially ends up traveling to what's basically the absolute universe Earth, but in the far-flung future with the Legion of Superheroes as it was created by Darkseid, and Booster Gold is there, but he's been held captive. This is how that starts, right? This is how Booster Gold shows up there and then basically gets held there by the Legion of Darkseid. Now, the other half of this is the story of Darkseid himself, and this one is far more intriguing.
Oh, so the absolute universe is just screwed. So if he traveled however long in the future in the same absolute universe that like Batman and them's in, oh, they're cooked. They're cooked. Bro, they are cooked. Oh my goodness, that nigga Orion got no aura. What y'all thinking? Y'all think he got aura like that? Let's see if I go back to his like costume. His costume is weak though. Where's he at? Where's that nigga at? His costume is weak. I ain't gonna lie. His costume is very weak. Like, pack it up, bro. Pack it up. Look like a beta testing Peacemaker outfit, man. Yo, you trash. Like, high key. Look at that, bruh. No aura. Just straight red, straight black pants. These 1986 Uggs. This disgusting metal hat. This pure, unadulterated booty cheeks. Who let this nigga walk outside with that outfit, bro? He really do got no aura. Whoever said that in the chat, you are so right. Really do got no aura, bro. Come on, man. Someone said it's fire game. Y'all call anything fire, bro. Y'all call anything fire. I'm skipping too far. It's like I was like right here. Y'all call anything that y'all. I feel like y'all just be in the chat, and you guys are just trying to have the opposite opinion of what I say. Like, it doesn't, I can say something egregious. I'm not even going to say it. Like, I can just say something egregious, and then y'all would say the opposite just to be the opposite of me. Like, bro, there is no way a nigga in the chat saw this. It said, nah, it's tough. What you mean? Hold on. There's no way you saw this. This Temu Ant-Man built nigga. And said, nah, this tough. What you mean? Bro. Y'all niggas on my freaking meat, bro. Get off my meat. Stop sucking it, bro. Cause what are you talking about? You yourself don't believe that, my nigga. You yourself don't believe that. You don't believe that. You don't believe that. Come on, bro. You don't believe that. Ban whoever said it looks tough. Yeah, I will ban it. With my eyes closed, I'd ban that nigga.
Of Darkseid himself. And this one is far more intriguing and actually requires a lot more meat and potatoes. The long and short of this is that Darkseid kind of states that it started as an idea, right? Something I would create in isolation, a way to be more. The machine took time to build, crafted in Element X from the Forge of Worlds. The design was drawn by Hyman, the very man responsible for the Mother Box. I told Hyman that if he built this one last thing, I would bring his daughter Becca back from the dead. The allure of that lie was enough for him to break every rule and create the hardware. The technology, begun with the sacred science of the Guardians, was developed by the Legion of Superheroes. It's a device with parts from the past, present, and future. It will work for one being and one being only, whoever it is bound to by blood. Now, the reality here is that what Darkseid is essentially making is a miracle machine. Now, miracle machines have appeared at different points in time in DC Comics. The most notable example of a miracle machine's use was in Final Crisis, when Superman literally built one as fast as he could to essentially undo everything that had happened during Final Crisis. This miracle machine is really
Final
more
Crisis,
of just kind of a plot element to the
similar to what is it? Is it the Battle of Infinite Earths or something of Infinite Earths? Crisis on Infinite Earths, something of that sort. Those the same, maybe run or iteration? Like, are those like the same run, or completely different things? Very interesting. Miracle Machine.
It's a cool little throwback to one of the more interesting aspects of DC Comics, but the truth is that it wasn't really necessary. What is important is this, though. Darkseid literally cuts off his own hand in order to power this thing because it has to be powered by blood. The problem is that more blood is needed than what he initially provided, and that's where you end up with Kalibak, the son of Darkseid, who shows up along with his daughter Grail. And the reality here is that Darkseid had been absent from the DC universe for a pretty chunky period of time, and in his absence, Kalibak and his forces had actually built a giant army in his name, knowing that he would eventually return. The hope being that they could earn the favor of Darkseid by presenting this army to him, and that in turn he would use this army.
Parademons be looking like in the comics. Yo, look at these niggas. God damn, that boy huge. Them boys huge, bro. Heck nah.
Of Darkseid by presenting this army to him, and that in turn he would use this army to launch an attack against the multiverse and do whatever it is that Darkseid does, right? Conquer reality after reality after reality. The truth here, though, is that Darkseid doesn't really care anything about these schemes, because for the most part, he's after bigger fish, right? He has a much bigger plan for what it is that he's trying to do. And so where initially he sees his son as more of a pest than anything else, Kalibak makes a statement as saying, "We are your blood. We will not leave you. Whatever you are seeking, we will help." And because the machine requires more blood, while Granny Goodness looks on, Darkseid kills Kalibak and throws his body in the machine, which in turn
Look how he's
powers
holding
it up
him
to its complete abilities.
Bro.
Following that, Darkseid takes off.
Look how he's holding him. Nah, bruh. Oh, nah. Oh, GG's, boy. It's over with, bruh.
Into the multiverse, and he travels to pretty much almost every location you can think of. He quite literally travels to hell, where he encounters Trigon, but the whole point is that he's looking for a thing. But everyone knows who Darkseid is, and everybody knows what Darkseid is about. And one of the cool things about DC Comics is that while you don't really see a lot of crossover between Darkseid and like the Heaven and Hell mythos, so Blaze and people like that, basically what used to be the Vertigo line in DC Comics, if you don't know what that means, it's not a huge deal. This is one of those stories where it shows that they know who he is and they understand how powerful he is. One of the other things, though, is this kind of built on what was a more recently established concept with Darkseid, which was true form Darkseid. But something to know here is that true form Darkseid was a concept that fans had basically just made up, right? Like there was
completely unrelated to the video, but yo, these eating comas, bro. When I come back from the gym and I gotta like eat a full meal, bro, nigga, these food comas, I'm telling you, I'm like a child, bro. It's like whenever I eat, it's like my entire body wants to shut down. It's like, bro, I didn't even feel my stomach and my body's like just shutting down. It's like boom, like right now. Like if I kept my eyes closed, I'd probably fall asleep right here. It's actually insane, bro. Have y'all ever had? Y'all have food comas? Like, it's crazy, bruh. Like, when I'm telling you, my entire body will shut down. Real life shut down after I eat some. Especially after the gym. It's like the most ruthless combo ever, bro. I'll always be starving.
There's never anything to indicate there was ever like a true form Darkseid, but DC confirmed that in both a previous comic and this one. And that confirmation came from a variety of different places. It came from his conflict in Hell, when they kept telling him that he is kind of a force of the universe and even the multiverse to take some kind of solace in that. The same thing was repeated when he went to heaven and battled the angels, and even when he went to the dark side of the moon and faced off against Eclipso, the embodiment of God's wrath. One of the cool things that we got to see here was that Eclipso is by and large, under any normal circumstance, more powerful than Darkseid, despite how powerful Darkseid is. And it makes sense, right? The presence, God, whatever name you want to give him in DC Comics, is drastically more important than Darkseid could ever possibly imagine being. And when you're talking about a being who's the living embodiment of God's wrath, it stands to reason they would be drastically more powerful than Darkseid. Now, of course, Darkseid ends up overcoming Eclipso by creating a boom tube, right? A teleportation device that literally channels the energy of the brightest sun in the galaxy directly to Eclipso. And because
Bro, comic niggas ain't fair, bro. This is why you always bet on the comic book character for any type of death battle, bro. Dude, you could just teleport the closest sun to your op and he vaporizes to ash.
Literally channels the energy of the brightest sun in the galaxy
bro.
Directly to Eclipso. And because Eclipso's weakness is sunlight,
who made
he's
this?
basically incinerated, right? So it shows that Darkseid could outthink Eclipso. But all this came to a head, right? The establishment of true form Darkseid, the formation of the absolute universe, when he finally locates the person he's looking for, which is Jim Corrigan, the Spectre. Now, the Spectre in DC Comics has had a very lengthy history, and sometimes he was overly important, sometimes he was never...
He got the green cape looking like Dr. Doom. This looked like Silver Surfer took Dr. Doom's fit. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Yo, it looks like Silver Surfer took Dr. Doom's fit. That's what the Scepter looked like for real.
Important at all. But Darkseid hunting for the Spectre is no small thing. So much so that in fact the quintessence, basically a coming together of some of the most powerful beings in DC. You can almost think of it as something like a blend between Marvel's cosmic entities and Marvel's Skyfathers, so like Odin, Zeus, the traditional godheads of like various civilizations across the Marvel universe. The quintessence is very similar to that. But once they arrive here, they start to realize that it's too little too late, because when Darkseid created that miracle machine, it would allow him to fulfill any wish that he desired. And the wish that he desired was to bond with the Spectre, which is exactly what happened. And what you ended up getting was a kind of philosophical discussion there, because when Darkseid had bonded with the Spectre, that's when the Spectre essentially drugged Darkseid to confront the Justice League, the hope being that the Justice League could basically undo the connection between Spectre and Darkseid and return the Spectre back to its normal state. And that's where you kind of get this confirmation of true form Darkseid in the beginnings of the formation of the absolute universe. Because what the Spectre tells Darkseid is very important here. He says, I am telling you, you need to listen to feel these words. Everything has a...
This comic, by the way, this comic looks... In some of the panels, this comic looks old.
The hope being that the Justice League could basically undo the connection between Spectre and Darkseid and return the Spectre back to its normal state. And that's where you kind of get this confirmation of true form Darkseid in the beginnings of the formation of the absolute universe. Because what the Spectre tells Darkseid is very important here. He says, I am telling you, you need to listen to feel these words. Everything has a balance to it. Our reality may be complex in many wondrous and terrifying ways, but there is also a raw simplicity to it, for at its core is life, a force that expands, multiplies against all odds. Life emerges from the dark and races onward. It is hope. And if there is a being who embodies that hope, that energy, it is him, Superman. But there is an opposing force to all of that. Constraint, control, and that is you. In a way, you are the true source wall that holds it all back. It's why you have no double in the multiverse.
This movie came out in 2014,
force.
or this comic, I mean. Really? Don't feel like it. The art, at least, don't feel like 2014.
You are primal. Long ago, when life was consolidated, so were you. But as life expanded, aspects of you, your energy, were channeled to every world to hold life back, to challenge it. When the multiverse expanded into an omniverse, those aspects were scattered further, making you, your physical being, less. That is the diminishment that you have felt, but it is natural. And then Darkseid asked the question, and when the multiverse was sealed, the Spectre answers and saying, right now, there is only you. All your power gathered into you, untapped. You vibrate with it. You can sense it, if not access it. But what you need to do is be patient, because the multiverse will come back, the omniverse. And as it does, your power will funnel into those worlds again. You will not feel this restless, this explosive. This is your role, Darkseid. It is an honor, divine and essential, because one of the reasons why Darkseid had gone on this quest in the first place is because he felt like there was something physically wrong with him. Something had happened that had changed his very essence and his very nature, but he couldn't find the answer to it. And the belief was that potentially the Spectre was the one with the answer. But that's where Darkseid picked up with his monologue and said, but he does not have to answer, because suddenly I know, I see my role. I am there, fighting them all. The Amazon's lasso is on me, and I am taunting them, but I am also not there, because I am seeing my story, seeing it in its entirety. I see every fight I have had, every fight I would have, and I see that he is right, the Spectre. This role of mine, the ebb and flow of it, being more at times, less at times, a god, a pawn, all of it is the way of things. It would always be, but I am finished with always. And so essentially in that moment, Darkseid dies, right? It's the belief that he is permanently gone. But he says, then it happens. I end. I let the Spectre be torn from me, and I open myself to it, to death. And as I end, I begin again. But this time alone, bound by no relationships to Earth, to the Kryptonian, to anything. If that world is driven by life, by hope, then this one would be driven by challenge, by turmoil. A world where heroes are born facing greater odds. Instead of being raised in paradise, they're raised in hell, where all their advantages are gone, where they are the small chaos instead of the system itself. A world where hope...
That is so crazy. That is so crazy. Yo, this man Darkseid got so butthurt. He done created the whole universe, flipped the whole script on niggas.
Is the underdog,
wow.
Where it is the villain, the opposing force, where it will have to burn brighter than ever before to survive at all. It is a universe that exists out of time and space, hidden as the truth was hidden from me, its timeline complete, and yet still solidifying. Above all, it is mine, it is me, it is reality where I can finally become what I was meant to be, where I am unleashed, where I may grow 1,000 feet tall, where my voice will shake planets, a reality where Darkseid will be. And when I am him, I will return for that other world and I will crush it. And so this is an important thing to understand here. What this essentially established is that Darkseid basically restructured the entirety of the absolute universe. Very similar to what you saw with the Maker adjusting the entire Ultimate Universe, or the new Ultimate Universe within Marvel Comics. Now, the reason why this is so important, and one of the things to keep in mind about the absolute universe, with the exception of 3 groups, no one knows that Darkseid is the force behind the creation of this universe, that all of it is based on his whim. Now, of course, the 3 groups that we're talking about here are the Absolute Legion of Superheroes, or as it's known in the comics, the Legion of Darkseid. They're quite literally servants of Darkseid. And in fact, Stargirl had quite literally talked to Darkseid directly, and he's the one that basically turned her into the first real member of his team, and then going out and recruiting other people. The second group, or the second person,
tired of Batman stuff. Not real life, bro. I'd be tired of it. I'd be tired of Batman's plot armor too. I'd be just like him. I would be moving just like him. I ain't gonna lie. I'd be moving just like him.
Absolute Martian Manhunter. Now, that's only been recently covered in the Absolute Martian Manhunter video, where he basically learns that Darkseid is the one behind everything. The third person is really more of a hypothetical scenario, because we don't have all the details yet, which is Absolute Joker. Now, the implication in the Absolute Evil comic that we covered in learning about Absolute Joker's role in all of this is that seemingly he had discovered the Omega particle, basically the God particle, the very essence of Darkseid and the power that he possesses in reforming this entire universe. And that was the first real indication that seemingly anybody in that universe understands not only that Darkseid is the force behind it all, but how the universe itself functions, that when Darkseid talks about how hope will be a very difficult thing to find, the universe will be a place of testing, it'll be a place of difficulty, that superheroes can rise, but they will not rise with the world championing their cause. They will rise in spite of the world, that the world will not embrace them as superheroes. Now, the indication here with Absolute Joker specifically is that in learning this, it seems to have driven him mad, but he's not.
I do like that, though. I do like that. I do like that a lot. I love that. I love this concept.
Really the Joker as we know him in
he
DC
Comics. He twists the planet or the absolute universe to such an extent. It's literally like a training grounds for the heroes, where it's like, if you really about it, you got to go through your like most intense. You got to go through like the most intense stuff yet. If y'all seen Shadow Slave, my friend put me onto it. Shout out to my boy. Bro, it's kind of the same thing. Shadow Slave got a similar thing, where it's like you're just dropped into like some horrible situation, and you got to make the best of it, like for like a mission or something. It's like a sort of semi-isekai. But Street's been saying that's like the most. It's getting a webcomic soon, and people have been saying that Shadow Slave is like the best like reading experience damn near ever.
He doesn't wear a clown costume or anything along those lines, but seemingly he learned the truth behind it all, and it's just kind of been operating that way ever since. But regardless, this statement that Darkseid has in terms of forming his own kind of superhero landscape, or his own group of individuals that will kind of live and breathe the very nature of life as he sees it, and then using those individuals to go against the superheroes on Earth in the main DC universe, that's the crossover that's coming up, right? DCKO is here in like a few days. Wednesday, I think, is when it comes out. It's literally
want to do the bracket of that too.
I
did want to do the bracket of that too, the DCKO. This is low-key like a very drawn-out Secret Wars.
In terms of forming his own kind of...
I'm not gonna lie. Y'all see it yet? This low-key a very drawn-out version of Secret Wars.
Hero landscape, or his own group of individuals that will kind of live and breathe the very nature of life as he sees it, and then using those individuals to go against the superheroes on Earth in the main DC universe, that's the crossover that's coming up, right? DCKO is here in like a few days. Wednesday, I think, is when it comes out. It's literally a tournament among superheroes fighting each other. And ultimately, it all kind of seems to indicate how things are going to pan out with Darkseid himself, who seems to have a role in it. But I haven't read it early. I don't know exactly what's going on, but I'm excited to find out, guys. Anyway, hopefully this answers your question with the Absolute Universe.
That is crazy. Yo, that is tough. Y'all let me know what y'all thinking about that, bro. Yo, that's goated. I'm going to stop the recording right here. I'm going to also add that to the drive. I'm going to be right back. I got to use the bathroom, low-key. So I'm going to play a video of mine just in case I take a little bit. And then I'll be right back to do some, to like return with the reactions. I'll put on... F it. Let's put on Miles.
He got a good look at Green Goblin. He sat his ass right back down. He was not trying to mess with Brody. And while Spider-Man is pinned down, we got this big body Benz of a nigga. Kingpin over here talking his smack, and this nigga is so fat, he can't even fit in the whole screen. How are you this obese? But let me chill on dissing him, because some of y'all really be weird. I remember I said on stream I didn't like this hard-boiled egg of a villain, and someone said me not liking a fat villain is a fat nigga take. How is that a fat nigga take, fat nigga? Pull up and you gonna see what's up. Chill. My bad, bruh. But Kingpin starts the machine, Green Goblin being a complete dunce put Spider-Man in the middle of the explosion, selling the whole plan and exploding the entire area. And when Miles goes through the rubble, he sees Spider-Man on his deathbed. And Peter gives him the USB, telling Miles he's the last hope. He gotta use the USB to explode the machine. Kingpin arrives over at Peter's body, getting ready to smoke on his pack, and Peter straight up tells him his plan won't work. It's gonna fail just like the rest. And Kingpin took that personally, putting his entire body weight on Peter, taking that man's life. And well, Spider-Man passes away and the entire city mourns. I really love how this was handled. They also give us this really funny scene.
They're counting on me. Probably not you specifically. I think it's a metaphor.
And this is where Miles gets determined. He goes outside to try his first real Spider-Man jump. And you know, he was nervous, palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. No Eminem, but he goes to the edge of the building, looks straight down, and gets ready to jump.
Try!
Yeah, that nigga fumbled. He tries a smaller building, but sadly his shoes were untied, causing him to trip and fall off the entire building, breaking the USB given to him by Spider-Man. Like, Miles, you might go, but I cannot believe you right here. You had one job. One! And you couldn't even get that accomplished. You got crossed up by your own shoes. This is actually sickening, and even he knows it. Going to the grave of Spider-Man, trying to express his grief. I'm sorry, Mr. Spider-Man, sir. I failed you. I really did. Yo, brother, you got some up. Man, what the fuck? And this is where we meet Peter B. Parker. And I, for one, love this character to death. I really love how he's a failed version of Sam Raimi's iteration of the character. It makes him feel a perfect amount of unique, yet familiar. But Miles knocks Peter B out, and the cops come seeing that Miles was on unauthorized territory. And this is where we get one of the most beautiful animated sequences in the entire movie. This chase scene right here is just sex to my eyes. The way the animation is so fluid, the way the colors just jump on the screen.
Get off that nigga dick, bro. What is you doing?
My bad, bruh. But at the end of this chase scene, Peter gets knocked out, and this is where Miles attempts an interrogation. And let me just tell you, that interrogation was a complete failure. And I'll give Miles his props. He tried, but sometimes no matter how much you try, you just can't look tough. It's like when people try to act tough from a weak city. Out here saying you wouldn't last a day in my hood. Whole time this the hood in question. Nigga, that's just Connecticut. But after this fantastic conversational scene between Peter B and Miles, they decide to blow up the collider. But in order to do that, they have to rebuild the USB that Miles broke, which leaves them with no other choice but to head to Alchemax. So them boys make it to Alchemax, put the mask on, and they begin to think on their new plan. And their plan is to break into the facility, grab a new USB, and then escape unscathed. Peter's original plan was to go in by himself, and Miles complies. But while he's outside playing lookout, he sees Kingpin walking into Alchemax himself. And Miles has a mini panic attack. Who can blame him? He's built like an octagon with diabetes. But even though the ideas of fear are ringing through Miles' head, the thoughts of him getting back are even stronger. And he locks himself in from a panic attack and goes to join Peter. Now, I ain't gonna lie, he deserves a round of applause. Someone tell Puss in Boots he got to take notes. I was rewatching that movie, and the moment Death even showed his face, Puss in Boots was straight bricks. But Miles chases Peter inside, and I'm crying. He really got a face full of fire force. But he joins up with Peter, and they decide to go through the plan together. Now, I know High School Musical timing though. Y'all corny. I really mess with this scene where Peter B is so used to Spider-Man stakes. The conversation explaining the plan was nothing but routine for him. Watch this.
This is pretty standard Spider-Man stakes. You get used to it. Watch this. He's gonna say, "You've got 24 hours."
You've got 24 hours.
But Doc Ock leaves the room, and Spider-Man makes it to the computer. He starts putting in that password, hacking the device. He going crazy. And like damn near every 2-man known to mankind, somebody in it has gots to sell. With Miles almost selling the entire mission, getting stuck on the light. Had Peter B straight tight as hell. He looking at him like, man, what the hell are you doing? Bro, I don't know. I can't get down. What are you doing to relax? Is
this nigga serious?
And that fall called the scientist's attention. But while she's walking in the room, they realize that Miles could turn invisible, leaving Peter B to handle this interaction himself. She walks into the room and is completely geeked of seeing a new Peter Parker. She looking at him like, oh my God, wow! And you know these weird-ass scientists, they see anything and can't wait to study it. Talking about I can't wait to see some of your saliva.
Weird. Buddy, you're weird.
And while she's studying him, she turns around and we get this incredible scene. You know, if you stay in this universe any longer, you're gonna disintegrate. You know how much that'll hurt, Peter Parker? I mean, I don't know. I think I got through worse. You couldn't imagine. And I, for one, can't wait to watch. What did you say your name was? Dr. Olivia Octavius. And she begins to remove the lab coat. And I'm like, oh no, oh no. Oh my God, she's hot. You got her with the hair tied back, the skin tight clothes. Let me get her. She's so bad. She pins Peter to the floor. Hey, I'm not gonna lie. I wish that was me. I assume your friends call you Doc Ock. My friends call me Liz. My enemies call me Doc Ock, and I call you Mommy. This is where they get to it. Miles straight running out the room while Peter Parker is getting ragdolled. Peter's getting straight dogged, using the yoga ball to deflect the attacks, but that won't work. And she tries to chase down Miles like it's a horror game, only for him to escape out the back. Well, damn, this will be a good time to turn invisible. Yeah. Boy. So Miles fails to turn invisible, selling the whole plan, and Peter beats Alexa Bagel. And yes, this is the most important detail of the entire.
All right, my apologies. Are we back? Where my cam at? All right, my apologies. I choose the bathroom. We back, chat? Yes, no, maybe so. The bagel destroyed the universe? No, actually, bro. Genuinely, that bagel destroyed the damn universe. I don't know how long that... I left it at like 5, so that was like a 6-minute. All right, I tried as fast as I could to get that poop out. Pause. Are you ready for the Peacemaker finale? Is that out already? I did not yet. Tonight? What time tonight? I did want to talk about Peacemaker, just like season 1. I did just finish that in 3.5 hours. Jeez. My goodness. 3.5 hours is absurd. So that's not coming out till like midnight. Wow. Yeah, it comes out at midnight. Yeah, that's insane, bro. That is like, bruh. I didn't know them hoes was midnight releases, bro. I did not know them hoes was midnight releases though. I'm gonna talk about season 1. Last episode gonna be an hour long. I'm gonna definitely watch it when I come back on Saturday. I'm gonna try to binge the show because right now I just started season 2. If y'all have seen this short right here, let me pull it up. I posted it on my account. Let me go to here.
Situations.
Right here. This right here. This short. I did post this right before stream.
This show is some absolute peak. Number 1, the characters in this show are so fire. Shout out Hardcourt and shout out Vigilante. They got to be the best characters I've seen in a superhero show in forever. Especially Vigilante. This man right here is my GOAT. I thought the whole concept of the butterflies was really cool to watch, especially the way that they entered into humans' bodies. It was so brutal to see. Action in this show is also insane. James Gunn went stupid with all this. My favorite fight had to be the one with his pops, especially with this costume right here. It felt like a Power Rangers fight. I can't even hold you, bro. Let me know what y'all think about this show. I'm going to be binging season 2 like right now and a potential video on this in the future. I just finished season 1.
I might do a main channel video on this. I don't know yet. But I'm going to briefly talk about season 1 of Peacemaker. I don't know if all y'all in the chat have seen it, but this low-key might be one of my favorite shows. Might be one of my newest favorite shows. I ain't gonna lie. First off, we can talk about that intro. Do you really want to taste it? Yo, this intro is some peak. This intro is some peak. Bro, like low-key, bro, unskippable. Can't skip. Cannot skip this, bro. Unskippable intro. I loved it every time. I like season 2s as well. What about season 1 that I really liked? We could go through the whole thing. I talked about Vigilante. I want to be very careful looking up stuff. I don't want to look up like Vigilante and like the nigga dies in season 2 and then that's like the first result. I'm going to be very careful. I'm going to at least try to be very careful. Like looking up a lot of these scenes. Let's go Vigilante moments. Like, I'm not even going to look at the search bar. Vigilante might be one of my favorite characters
an innocent person
in, like, superhero media, bruh. I know this is definitely, like, show exclusive. I doubt he's this cool in the comics. I doubt Vigilante is as funny as he is in the comics. But, dude, he is, my favorite interpretation of a legitimate psychopath I've seen. He is so funny, and he's so perfectly weird. He is so like, literally the only thing that he's normal about is, like, when he's, telling, Peacemaker about, his dad's racism and like how his dad's a bad person. That's like the only time Vigilante was ever like normal. This entire show, he's like completely different. Isn't it crazy as hell? He really was, bruh. Like, especially the part when he killed all the butterflies with ease. He just went up there and it didn't matter if there was kids or nothing. Went up there, up the rifle, snipe, straight headshot. Did not care what it was. Didn't care who it was either.
or
Freaking insane. I love this guy,
And I know
bro.
what's normal.
He was hilarious. Let's see.
We're
Let me
born
play a few of
killers.
this.
What separates us from other killers is we only kill bad people. Usually. Unless there's a mistake. Now, do I sound like a fucking maniac? Dude, I'm your best friend.
No, you're not.
Well, who's your best friend then? Someone you met in prison. I knew it. I want to make sure you're okay. I don't trust these people.
I'm fine.
Just remember, even if they end up being okay to work with, they're still not going to be good friends. And none of them is the type to be a best friend.
Okay.
Man, he was so salty. And when he was salty about that, is it there? No. When he was salty about that damn pinky toe thingy, I was crying about that, bro. The whole season, this man was just too funny. I loved his entire character. I hope he's just as funny in season 2. Vigilante is a legitimate GOAT. Who else did I really like? I really liked Harcourt.
My secret identity? Are you a psychiatrist?
What?
Then don't tell me what's
on.
normal.
Pause it right
Maybe
when
my
you can
secret
see a
identity
frame
is
of
a
her.
psychiatrist, and I know what's normal.
Get out of here.
There we go.
What? I'm just looking for behind a trash can. It's a normal thing to do.
The hell?
There we go. Yo, Harcourt, low-key, I loved her character. Her character is this type of, like, her actress gives a performance I've, like, never seen in a show. It's kind of hard to describe. First off, I didn't know she was James Gunn's wife. I didn't know James Gunn had that pull, number one, because she is very pretty. I didn't know James Gunn was pulling like that. I'll be honest. Number two, I don't know how James Gunn's gonna feel having John Cena be all over his wife. I don't know if they're gonna kiss in the series or something, or they're gonna actually get together. I wonder how James Gunn's gonna actually direct that. Imagine you're the director and you gotta get your wife getting together with John freaking Cena. Bro, I'd be sick. I don't know about y'all niggas. I'd be sick. Did something happen? My thing's buffering. Did something happen to stream? Let me just look real quick. Nah, we're good, but it's mad blurry. Give me 1 second. That was mid-thought, too. Don't know why they did me like that. Y'all good? Y'all can see everything? Everything on stream fine? Right now, it's fine for me, but it's at like 160p. It's fine now. It's back to 720. But okay, seems like we're okay potentially. If something's wrong with stream, let me know. You can just see lag. Yeah, that's kind of annoying. I don't know what happened. If something ends up going on, y'all just let me y'all let me know what's up. Y'all let me know. But yeah, like I said, I don't know how James Gunn's gonna stomach that, bro. Again, imagine you're a director and you have to watch your wife just like get together with John freaking Cena on the TV screen. But hey, if you dating an actress and things of that nature, or actor, things of that nature, like you gotta be built for that, bro. I am not. I would not be capable of doing that if that was someone's job. I wouldn't date an actress. I don't think I'm too protective. I'm not. I couldn't stomach that. That could not be me. But we gonna see if James Gunn will be able to stomach it whenever that happens. Cause damn. But her performance is so weird, and I love it because like you could see where it's like Harcourt, I'd say, is very calm most of the time. And then, like, she'll just randomly be very energetic. Like, she gets very easily rage baited. Like, look at this scene right here where she's yelling at a vigilante. Let me go back.
What? I'm just looking for behind a trash can. It's a normal thing to do.
The hell it is!
Are you a psychiatrist?
What?
Then don't tell me what's normal. Maybe my secret identity is a psychiatrist, and I know what's normal.
Like, literally, like stuff like that. When she's like, when she's like yelling at vigilante right there. Like, whenever she shows emotion, she overly shows it so much to the point where it feels like overacting. It's like she's like she's a psychopath too. I feel like it's like she's pretending to feel emotion. Like I don't like her performance is so odd, and I'm like infatuated by it. Like I just love seeing it on the screen. Like I love every scene that got her because it's so weird seeing her on screen. It's literally she is calm 95% of the time, and then when she shows emotion, it's like she's overacting, and it's so weird. But I can't call it bad. Like it's so bizarre, bro. It is so crazy to me. I really don't know how to put her performance into words. Like if y'all feel the same way that I do, y'all can let me know. But James Gunn might be a cuck. They didn't get together yet, so we don't know for real. But it wouldn't be a cuck. Like, if he's obviously comfortable in his relationship, if he's dating an actress, man. Like, it's definitely not no cuck stuff, bro. Definitely not no cuck stuff, for real. But Harcourt was great. Really liked Adebayo as well. She was really dope. Really liked her. Really liked, what was his name? Mern or Merc? Forget which one of the two it was. But he was also very dope. The butterfly twist to him low-key caught me off guard. I didn't think he'd be a butterfly, but it didn't really go anywhere crazy. So like it wasn't like a crazy twist that did anything to the plot. Like he doesn't do anything. Like him not being a butterfly doesn't change anything in the plot, in my opinion. So like it's like not a useless plot twist, but like it doesn't really amount to like OD. Peacemaker himself is phenomenal. John Cena, you could tell John Cena loves doing this, bro. You could tell John Cena loved every single second of playing this role, bro. You could tell he enjoyed it, like every fiber of his being. He loved doing this, bro. He had such a good performance every single time he was on the screen. He did a fantastic job. I loved it. I love all these characters. They all feel so weird. Shout out Economos. He is real life one of the best as well. Like shout out Economos. He is for real to go. Like he got like this show was just great. I loved all the characters. I loved all that. That's what really got me the most. Like these characters were so well written, so well acted. such a great cast. Like this was so enjoyable to watch. I could watch like a 70 episode show with these guys. The fighting as well. I really liked Superman's action. Really liked Superman's action. And I think the action in this is just as good. I think the action in this is just as good. I just saw I put a Peacemaker versus Rick Flag. I also do like, quick little side note, I do like how this movie has such a strong pretense in the show. Like what Rick Flag says about Peacemaker really keeps the heart. Like this movie is like essential to watching the show, and I do really like that. I do like how it's not just thrown away, because I don't know how much of this show is going to be, besides Peacemaker, I don't know how much of this show is going to be used in any of the new DCU. Like, I don't know if Bloodsport's coming back. I don't know if the Shark Dude's coming back. I don't know if any of those characters are coming back. Besides literally Amanda Waller and like Harcourt's in that movie, Economos is in that movie, and like that's it. Like no one else has really came back from that movie yet, as far as I remember. But let's get into the action. No, I already made this into a new tab. Let's get into the action. The action was dope. Did I miss the It movie? No, we did not watch the It movie yet. I'm probably gonna watch it on Saturday instead of today. I was gonna watch it potentially today, but the absolute part of the stream took like an entire hour 20, so I ended up not. But let me go to Peacemaker versus, who am I looking for? Judo Master. Harcourt versus Judo Master is a tough fight too. This right here. Let's go to. Oh, that was a terrible sneeze, nigga. God damn. Yo, on stream 2 is crazy. I never snout rocket. You telling me my nose want to tweak like that on stream is insane. Oh my goodness. Nose malfunction. My bad. Nose malfunction, chat. God dang. God bless you, my nigga. Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. Ugh. Let me go wash my goddamn hands. I'll be right back, bro. Hold on. All right, I'm back. God dang. That was... Bruh. Y'all saying goon break like I didn't just freaking have my nose blow up, nigga. Y'all talking about some goon break. What are we talking about right now? But, clip, by the way, you clipped that. I'm not gonna lie, y'all deserve that right there in GTA. But let's keep going from where I freaking left off. I love how James Gunn uses the camera in his fights, bro. It real life made all these fights feel so crazy, bro. This fight was tough. I really like this one right here. Judo Master was going stupid on these folks. And when he goes up against Harcourt too. Judo Master versus Harcourt. Especially when he goes up against Harcourt. That was like, this one shocked me. I did not know Harcourt had hands like that. I did not know she had the hands that she had. Hold on, let me go through. Yeah, first off, he comes in, kicks her, and then immediately slams Adebayo in the face. This nigga was wildin'. Nigga was wildin'. Yeah, right here. Where they just go back and forth with it. Like, I ain't know she had that. I ain't know she was moving like that. She really put him down. She was really putting her hands on him. She did lose, and the Adebayo came in with the finish. But she did so much better than I would have ever thought. Dude, Harcourt is incredible, bro. Harcourt is an incredible character. I don't know if she's in the comics. Harcourt DC. Like, is she a comic? Yeah, she does have a comic. She is in the comic. Dude, she is tough. She is freaking tough, bro. She is an incredible character. I love what they had going on with her. I ain't gonna lie. I top both of them. Yeah, nice try, buddy. You dead gotta make a worst fictional characters video and put Joffrey from Game of Thrones. Yeah, Joffrey's 100% on there. MJ from Toby, Spider-Man, Cryberry Deku. Deku is not on the same tier as Joffrey. MJ from Spider-Man is not on the same tier as Joffrey. Not even close. Even if they were annoying, Joffrey's like 15 tiers over them. I cannot in serious faith make a worst fictional characters video and then put MJ and Deku next to Joffrey. Hell no. Nah. And none of those guys are badly written characters, except for MJ, at times. But Joffrey is like, nah, you can't even put them in the same sentence, bro. Heck nah, bro. This fight I love too. This fight, bro, this felt like a Power Rangers fight. This man had like the stupidest costume of all time. The way the camera and the action was moving. When I watched this, it felt like I was watching M-rated Power Rangers. I thought I was look at bro. Pip slapped Eagly in the face. Come on now, bro. Eagly! Hold that nigga so bad.
I'll kill you, motherfucker!
This is where they really get to it. And the CGI like that, and then like, bro, how he comes up, the CGI on this suit, I'm telling you, bro. I really thought this felt so much like Power Rangers. So Kamen Rider, is Kamen Rider M-rated? I didn't know that if so. But all in all, I really love Peacemaker. I love the characters. I really like Peacemaker's character. I like the arc he goes through. I really do enjoy a lot of the action as well. The story was not too entirely like, there was like just enough going on to like feel calm, you feel what I'm saying? Just for it's like not be like OD. And overall, I thought the show was pretty dope. Holy, we got 10 subs by my name. I can't even say your name. RJHSV_Rora Noah Jr. gifted 10 whole subs. Shout outs to you, brother. Thank you for all the support. You are the absolute freaking GOAT. W show, indeed W show. I gotta catch up to season 2, so the next stream that I'm on, I could actually watch the finale on stream. So I'm gonna try to watch like all 7. I watched already episode 1 where he was trying to talk with the Justice Gang and all that. And yeah, I barely started episode 2. I just gotta watch 5 episodes and then I'll be able to get on to the last finale. I'll definitely watch that on stream. Make sure I can get that out on the channel in case you guys missed that stream. But let me know what y'all think about Peacemaker Season 1. Thought it was pretty dope. And I'll catch y'all on the next one. Let me end this recording. Once again, shout outs to you, Roanoa Jr. I would say your whole name, but the whole beginning I can't really say. But shout outs to you for the 10 subs. 10 gifted. I don't even know how much we're at right now. Let's pull up the browser thingy. What is that, 50? 58? Is that what that says? Let's look. I can't tell. 58. 50 freaking 8. 58, bro. Yo, we going crazy, bro. Might have to like marathon or subathon for 100 or something, bro. High key. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like high key might have to. So let me go to Doc. Oh, also, any finale predictions for some of the crazy cameos we're about to see? I heard Superman is not in it, but I do know Lex Luthor shows up. any other, maybe in like the alternate universes that Peacemaker goes to, we might see like, I don't know, some of like the old DCU characters. Like we might see like Aquaman or like the Flash. I don't think like Henry Cavill or Ben Affleck would pull up again, or Gal Gadot. I think they're too expensive to show up just for a little bit. Maybe Henry Cavill would do it just as like a little like gift. I know he loves playing Superman, but I don't know about I don't know about anyone else. But I think like that would probably be my predictions for like any cameos. But like in terms of people in the new DC, Supergirl maybe like I might have a little something, like may have a little appearance. I know her movie is like literally next year. It's mad soon. But I don't think Superman's showing up. I remember there was a tweet. James Gunn said he's not showing up. So I don't know about Superman. It would be dope if his Superman would show up though. I would love to see it, but I don't think he's actually appearing. Don't think so. Do not think so. But we shall see, because it is very deeply intertwined with what was going on in that movie. Like literally like the pocket universes and all that. Literally from what Lex had going on carried over to this. So we gonna have to see what's up with that for real. Hold on. I'm just reading through something real quick. This just popped up. One secondo. There we go. All right. There we freaking go. Henry Cavill looked too much like Superman. Yeah, I really hate how the old DCU came up, man. I really hate how that whole thing played out, because they were so. I think everything they had, every single choice was perfect casting, in my opinion. I think every single one was perfect casting. They were all perfectly casted. Like the only one that I would change is probably Flash. But like no one has ever complained about the Flash. I don't think he's bad, but it's like I feel like you could probably, if there was anyone that would be replaceable, it'd be what's his name? Ezra Miller's Flash. Like someone else could play a Flash. Somebody else could play a Flash. I think, but everyone else, but they all look their part at least. Even Ezra Miller looks their part. Everybody on that main Justice League looked their part to a T. Even though you could say Gal Gadot cannot act, you could definitely find a better actress than Gal Gadot, but she looked the part. You could say whatever you want about Ezra Miller. He's the only one that says like he could maybe not. You could say he probably does not look the part, but I don't think Ezra Miller did not look like the part. But he's not like the perfect Flash in my opinion. But I feel like every other casting was like the perfect version of them. Like Aquaman's was perfect. Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman was like basically perfect. Superman, Henry Cavill Superman is perfect. Ben Affleck's Batman is literally not maybe not perfect, but damn near there. One of my favorites. I think my favorite Batman live action is definitely 2022. That is definitely my favorite live action looking Batman. Definitely my favorite. I'm not gonna lie. 100% my favorite looking. Gotta be. Old DC was a huge fumble. I think they rushed it to forming the Justice League too early without the build up the MCU did for the Avengers. Yeah, that's what everybody thinks, bro. They took away. They tried to get Marvel money without doing the Marvel grind. They're like, okay, let's get what Marvel got with their movie, except skip 6 of them. And the thing is, they didn't even flop for real, too. They had multiple chances to come back. Because, like, let's go through the DCU's, like, box office. And then after this, we'll react to something real quick, and I'll probably call it a night. And then we'll do the It reaction probably Saturday. I'll probably watch the whole movie, or we watch a little bit today. Y'all let me know. But I think it'll probably be smarter if we just watch the whole thing. on Saturday, along with Peacemaker. I'll probably have that be a longer stream that night. Not gonna lie. Let me just go through here. Make sure I got stuff here that I want to like look at. Okay. Let's go through. Okay, DC. Let's go through all of their all of the money that they made. Just so I could show y'all. This is not like their whole box office though. Like this hit I know Aquaman hit like $1 billion. This is not accurate, I don't think. This is not accurate. I'm gonna have to change sites. Do I have to go international? Where do I go for like DC Universe box office? Where do I go to look? Cause like they fumbled, but they had multiple chances. Yeah, they had multiple chances to make some shake. Multiple. Who's Hamada? I didn't know they switched. So there was another director named Hamada. Hamada era DCU. Hamada era DCU. Yeah, 4. Okay, I did not know about his little era. I'm seeing this Reddit post right now. Can you take a moment to address how awful Walter Hamada's DCU would have been? Building his own DC universe off the series of box office disasters that he greenlit, all while expecting fans to embrace a DCU with no Superman is crazy. Crazy. And then I saw one of the comments said that he wanted to have Supergirl and Batgirl be the faces of the DCU. I gotta watch. I'm gonna have to see what was this man's plan. What was he cooking? What was he cooking? Let me go Hamada era DCU. What they got going on? I'm gonna have to see one of these because that's so crazy. But let me go back and let me see that graph. What is the worst fumble? DCEU with no standalone Batman or Sony Spider-Man universe with no Spider-Man? Definitely Batman. No standalone Batman is just insane. Like the Sony Spider-Man universe, at least you could cope and say that they're building up to a big Spider-Man movie against all the villains. Like there's clearly like a plan to do something like that. So I would say them having no standalone Batman is worse than no Spider-Man. Probably. But Batman is in like all of these though. Cause Batman's in this. He's in this. He's in the Snyder cut of the Justice League. You do see Batman quite a bit, but I don't know. I'd probably still say Snyder's was the bigger fumble. Not getting a Batman solo movie is kind of insane. Like the Spider-Man one is still insane as well, but I do think again you could contextualize it and be like, we just have not seen the Spider-Man movie yet. Like they could just bring Andrew Garfield back and then have Spider-Man versus the Sinister Six that they're obviously building up. I don't know how they're going to do it. I heard they don't even have the rights. Sonyverse is canceled. So someone said that in the YouTube chat. It seems like that's not even going to be a thing. But you could cope and say that they're building. That's what they're building up to. But like the DCU, like what were they building up for Batman? Nothing. But let's look right here. Man of Steel, mixed reception, but like did really well. And instead of having like, I don't know, a standalone Batman or something of the sort, or like another movie beforehand, they jumped straight into Batman v Superman. Sold stupid well, despite the movie being like very mid. So imagine So it sold this well with everyone knowing the movie was kind of mid. Imagine how that would have sold with everyone thinking the movie was good. This came out the same year as Civil War. This might have done much closer to Civil War's numbers. Especially since you have Batman and Superman on the title. I feel like that will grab a lot more casuals' attention than just Captain America Civil War, if that makes sense. Like, the mom who knows nothing about superhero movies, seeing Batman and Superman on a cover versus just Captain America would take the kid to go watch Batman v Superman. That's what happened to me. My parents took me to watch Batman v Superman over Civil War because they knew Batman and Superman are like the biggest names ever. They don't know who Captain America is, bro. So like, I think this would have sold over $1 billion if it was actually good. Suicide Squad sold OD despite being one of the worst movies. So it's like, y'all fumbled here. Okay, that's fine. You fumbled again. You still had two huge bangers despite fumbling. 2 fumbles that sold really well, which is a good sign. That means even though y'all dropping trash, your audience is this big. So don't fail again. They're like, okay, we learned our lesson. Wonder Woman comes out, does really well. Y'all niggas did not learn your lesson. Went straight to Justice League. Justice League did worse than Suicide Squad. Was terrible. Still sold OD. Still sold OD. And the next movie y'all went great. 1 billion. Aquaman. Like, come on, bro. Like, I feel like y'all had chances to bounce back. Like, this clearly shows y'all chances to bounce back, but it's like, here, come on now. Shazam had good reviews, but I don't know if Shazam just had the push to like put niggas in theaters. Birds of Prey is a good movie, but this was like a terrible choice to pull up with. I'm not gonna lie. As much as I love Harley Quinn, there's no way y'all tried to revive the DCEU, and your choices after Justice League were Aquaman, Shazam, and another Harley Quinn movie. I feel like that's kind of insane. I feel like that is kind of insane. Y'all let me know if I'm tripping. But I feel like that is legitimately insane. Like, imagine the MCU in Phase 4. We're like, okay, we got to make a comeback. Hawkeye movie? Who would be here? Who would be a Shazam? Captain Marvel? And then I don't even know what would be here, bro. I don't even know what would be here. Another The Marvels movie or something? Like, this is not what you do to come back as a cinematic universe, my nigga. Come on. Like, this should have been Aquaman, Shazam. You realize Shazam flopped, you immediately go to Batman. I feel like you should have immediately go into Batman. DC had no plan at all. They didn't have any plan at all, bro. Because, like, I don't know who would green like that. You're trying to have your extended universe come back, and you choose 3, I'd say not 3 pretty mid-tier, not sellable heroes. Aquaman's not that mainstream, and he sold this much. That's a very good sign. You saw Shazam, who I would say is probably more marketable than an Aquaman, sell this bad. You would have been like, oh, shoot. I think y'all should have just dropped Batman. Didn't drop Batman. So dropped Harley Quinn. Did a pretty piss poor for a superhero movie, but that's not bad. Wonder Woman did horrible because of COVID. Suicide Squad 2 did horrible because of COVID. This movie's so much better than everything next to it. This movie is like one of the best superhero movies like ever. I love this movie, bro. I love this movie. And it's so sad. It's stuck between all of this mid. It is so sad that it's stuck between all of this mid. It is so sad. It probably takes years to course correct movies. It probably does, because I blame the MCU, because the MCU made it a thing where it's like you have to have these big, long graphs of movies planned for the next like 13 years. And then, like, you can't really gear off the path. Like, they make it really hard to gear off the path. It's good to have a plan, but it's like you have to keep it a little loose. You got to keep it a little loose. Like, let's go to, like, the MCU movies for the next 3 years. Like they probably have one of those graphs. Yeah, they probably have one of those graphs. Like what do they have planned? 2021, 2024. They had all this already graphed out, and they always reveal it at Comic-Con too. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. They have the whole thing graphed out. Entire thing graphed out. Where's that thing again? And then like, Black Adam was pushed OD. That's why it probably sold like this, but no one was watching that movie, bro. I'm sorry. And then you come back with Shazam. You're seeing all these flops, and you said, let's go back to the other flop. Let's make a sequel to the other flop. What was wrong with them niggas? Who decided that? You said, okay, we got 5 flops in a row. Let's drop a sequel to one of the flops. Insane. And then when you dropped The Flash, it was too late. Then you dropped Blue Beetle for whatever reason. Blue Beetle, no one cared anymore. And this only sold well because it was, one, a sequel to a really well-popular movie, and it was the last one in the DCU. Everyone watched it because it was the last one. I watched it because it was the last one. Crazy, bro. Actually insane. Blue Beetle's a good movie, too. Again, just hold. No plan. I don't know. From, like, these 8. It's 8, right? No, 9. From these 9, I don't think any of these should have released except for you and you. You, because you're just so good. Like, I would still want you to release. But, like, if I was to change the order of these, I would have went Shazam, immediately Flash. And then after Flash, I'd probably keep Wonder Woman here still. And then if Wonder Woman bombed, I'd probably do Aquaman immediately. And then after Aquaman, I would probably do Blue Beetle after, instead of Black Adam. I would do Blue Beetle and then Black Adam. And then after that, if Blue Beetle and Black Adam failed, I would do a Batman. I would not have done a second Shazam. I would not have done Birds of Prey. I would not have done I wouldn't even have done these two, to be fair. It was a little bit too early, but hey, it is what it is. Keep the Flash movie away from theaters. The Flash movie was not. I think the Flash movie is very overhated in my opinion. Same thing with I almost said Stranger Things. Same thing with Doctor Strange. That Doctor Strange movie was not as bad as y'all say it is. I think the same thing for the Flash. Those two movies are not as bad as y'all say that they are. They're not as bad as y'all say that they are. I feel like for superhero movies, y'all hate so much for no reason. Again, I grew up in an era where y'all said Spider-Man 3 was one of the worst superhero movies ever. In the same world that we live, where CATWOMAN released in theaters, where the Daredevil movie released in theaters, where what other super bad superhero movie came out that I just know of? There's at least 5 X-Men movies worse than that. Like, come on, bro. Like, I feel like you don't have to like slop, but y'all overhate sometimes. Not gonna lie. I'd say CW Flash is better than movie Flash. Really? I've not seen the CW Flash. Not yet. I've yet to see it. Yet to see it. Hold on. Where do I go for the DCKO bracket? I did want to record that too. Is it too late? Is it too late? Can I not enter the bracket no more? Oh, no. Oh, no. You dying on the Ezra Miller Hill? I'm not defending the movie like it's something good. It's not as bad as y'all say. Like, Y'all say it like it was a complete and utter trash abomination of a movie. It's not that bad. Not that bad at all. There's definitely worse. There is definitely worse. Like 100% worse. Like 1,000% worse. Like a million times worse. Like I feel like y'all dragging it. Y'all real life dragging it. I ain't gonna lie. Let me pull up a reaction video that I wanted to do. Because there's two that I wanted to get on for real. Let's get on. Let me go to my cord real quick. Watch the series Gotham It's Gas. I heard Gotham's pretty good. Have not seen it, but I heard it's pretty good. Not gonna lie, I did hear that series is pretty dope. What is it even about? Is it about like it's about like what, Batman when he's younger, right? Or something of the something like that.
It's about something like that, but I don't know exactly
what it's entirely about. Like I couldn't tell you what it's entirely about for real. Let me go. Thomas Wayne. It's about Thomas Wayne. What does Thomas Wayne do in that show for it to be a thing? My fault. I'm currently looking at something real quick. It's kind of important. So just give me like 1 second and then we'll get back to it. But what happens in that? It gives you so much more respect for Jim Gordon. The villain origins are tough. I definitely got to peep then. Definitely got to peep. If it's actually that fire, I'ma have to see what's up for real. I'm a 100%. I'm a 100% have to see what's up, like on me. Alright, we are probably gonna run this right here. Give me 1 second. Let me pull it up. And then we gonna get started, chat. And then we gonna get started. I hope y'all have been enjoying list streams in general. Or just list stream. You feel what I'm saying? I hope y'all been messing with what's going on. This, that, the third. We gonna have to get this up out of here. I'm gonna be saying she's so bad every second. I hear the Arrowverse and stuff. I hear the Arrowverse. I hear them shorties bad, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I hear them shorties bad. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised in the slightest if I was like, nah, like they tough for real. I would not at all be surprised. Like high key, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I literally saw a TikTok of it today. I was like, if I was in the Arrowverse and I saw like all the women in there, cause all them shorties be tough. Let me see if I can find a TikTok of it right now. Let me go through TikTok. Let's see if I can find that real quick. Let me see. What am I looking for? Arrow verse girls, I guess. Nah, it was like Arrowverse, and it was like, fuck, I crashed a bit, I will then let's see. This right here, yeah. Yeah. We don't get no We don't get no And the last one is crazy though. I don't agree with the last one. Do not agree with the last one. If you agree with the last one, you deserve to get like thrown under a jail. Like hockey. But like literally, bro, like tap me in the Arrowverse right there. We gonna get to the Crash Out of Transylvania. Now, I've never even seen this movie. I've never even seen Transylvania, which is kind of crazy. But I did see this going crazy. Did want to tap in. Did want to check it out. I know this is a review of the entire movie, like a summary. So we're going to see what I missed out on as a child. Because apparently the audience there is crazy. Fine, they came in 8 days. Like, come on, man. I do want to make a, if you were in the Discord, you definitely seen when I did that at everybody, and I said, what is the most justified anime crash out? Animated crash out, not anime, sorry. And I want to make a potential video similar to this, where it's a compilation of all the characters. I got Tai Lung on there, I got Tarzan, I got the one dude from Brother Bear, forgetting his name. I got a lot of people on there that deserve to crash out, animated wise, and I want to keep going with that. Baymax on there as well, and this might give me some ideas, so we gonna see what's up with this. Let's get into it. Made by my boy, your boy Eustace, by the way. Shout out to him. Make sure y'all show him some love. Up and coming creator. Let's get into it.
The legend is wrong. The wife that died.
That boy moving different. Hey, just wanted to say thank you for all the love and support on the last vid. And I am currently moving my work schedule around to hopefully get one of these videos out once a week. And I'm trying to test out a new YouTube feature right now. So if you see a hype button somewhere on your screen, I would appreciate it.
Bro, I wish I had that hype feature so bad. I wish I had that hype feature so bad, bruh. I wish I had the hype feature so bad, man. Like, I'm past 500K, so I don't deserve it. Not that I don't deserve it, but it's like they don't give it to you if you're over 500K. But it's like, I wish I had that, bro. I don't think trending is not a tab anymore, is it not? Like, I wanted to hit trending at least once, but I don't think trending's a tab no more. Yeah, trending's not a tab anymore. It's like I'm screwed, bro. I'm screwed. Like, I can't even get that no more. That's a goal that I just can't hit no more. I wanted to hit trending at least once. I cannot hit trending anymore. The hype's gone. Like, hype's the only thing, and I'm past the threshold, bro. Tough. I wanted to hit trending at least once. Yes, niggas didn't have the motion, I suppose. It's tough. Truly tough. Oh, it's muted. Hold on.
So we start off in 1895. We see a bat flying to this balcony and transform into a vampire. The door opens and you see the shadowy figure start walking towards the crib, but he only says peekaboo, scaring the baby inside. He then says he didn't mean to scare her, but what was the point of this insane entrance? Also, why do all the babies in these type of movies have a full set of hair every single time? They always are just born with a full set of hair. Anywho, this baby is Dracula's daughter, Mavis. We get a couple clips of her growing up and showing that she wants to go outside, but Dracula tells her it's too dangerous out there. We also get this really cool song from Dracula singing to Mavis about how he'll protect her from the humans. And we get a glimpse of how much this man is an absolute crash out. And if a human tries to harm you, I'll simply say. But while he's teaching Mavis how to fly, someone interrupts and he says,
hey, if you're doing that about your daughter, I'm not gonna lie, that is justified. That is a justified crash out. If you're doing that about your daughter, though, like, are niggas really gonna call you weird for that? I wouldn't. It's your dog. That's your daughter, bro. I say go crazy.
It's ready. They go to the balcony, and we then see that a castle made for only monsters has been built. The only thing stopping humans from getting away is like basically a forest to scare them away, which is honestly such a bad defense mechanism, but you know, it's whatever. The guy says the only way to like really keep humans away though is to make sure there's no bonfires or fireworks, you know, to get people's attention and all that. Basically, he built this place as a promise to his wife to keep Mavis safe, and the only way he sees that being possible is if he keeps her in this castle castle for the rest of his life. You know, it's whatever. Then we cut to the present day and we see this car speeding through the forest and all these monsters with it, really hyped to go to their vacation. The car finally arrives at the hotel and we meet Werewolf Man and all of his kids and his wife.
So that's why it's called Hotel Transylvania. This is like a vacation spot for these niggas. It's like a vacation spot for these niggas. I bet.
They're basically like the dumb little henchmen of Dracula. Like, they just do all the random stuff around the hotel. Then we see Dracula handing out the itinerary for his daughter's birthday. Dracula says the hotel has been human-free since 1898. Since it's going to be Mavis's 118th birthday, she's lived here for like 115 years. I don't know how that's relevant at all, but I don't know. They gave me numbers. I did the math. Leave me the fuck alone. Anywho, the werewolf kids finally make it in the building. They just start wrecking the place. They're peeing everywhere and messing everything up. We then figure out that the werewolf and Dracula have been really good friends for years. And then Dracula gets the maids to clean up their mess. And these witches come out.
Oh, Lee said pick up? Bro, I got my phone over here, twin. I didn't even see your call. Hold on. Streamer call real quick. Ain't no way. Is that Lord Farquaad? Yo, chat, you want to see this? Yo, shout out Lee. She's streaming right now. You said what?
The one and only.
The one and only. One and only Lee streaming right now. What y'all thinking? W costume? What we thinking, chat? Hold on. I got to make sure this visible, bro. How long this one take you?
Honestly, tomorrow's going to take me an hour. But this one took me 30 minutes.
30? Ain't no way. Everybody's saying W, though. Everybody's saying W, though. You love to see it, bro. What's your next costume? You can't spoil it? No leaks?
I can't spoil it.
No leaks? Alright, bro. Whenever you're live, I'll be tapped in, bro. I'll be tapped in. I better get that call. You get the live reaction and all that, bro.
I am live.
You are? Okay, I'm gonna say what's up to the stream. Tell the stream I said hi if they can hear me.
Oh no, they can hear you.
Oh, okay, bet.
Yeah, they can hear you.
I say that. You better catch me for the next one. I'm gonna catch you for the next one. I bet. I'm gonna see you. W costume. You love to see that, bro. Who is she? That's Lee. She a streamer, bro. Met her at DreamCon literally last year. Shout out Lee, bro. She be grinding. Absolute GOAT, bro. Absolute GOAT. Be showing mad love too. Love to see. Let's get back to it.
Instantly cleaning this mess.
Everybody did not say W's. I only saw W, hell yeah, W. That's all I said, nigga. That's all I seen. Mr. Morgan's over. Did anybody else not say it?
Sponge on the pee and he kind of like wiggles in it.
Why this nigga wiggling?
I don't know what kind of joke or whatever this was supposed to mean, but I'ma just keep it pushing.
Not
we
real
didn't
life.
see these mailboxes being carried into the lounge,
Real
but
life.
the zombies trip over and reveal that Frankenstein was in the boxes the whole time. While Dracula is yelling at the zombies for dropping him, the Invisible Man messes with him and pinches him. He then takes off his glasses so he's fully invisible and then smacks Dracula in the face. And then Dracula swings on him, but obviously he misses because he's invisible. Then he takes out these like claws and does like 2 large slashes. And from seeing his powers in the rest of the movie, there is no possible way he can't actually see him. I know for a fact he can see this man. I just can't prove it. But Dracula gives up and hands him a piece of...
How does the Invisible Man ever lose? See, niggas with powers like this, how do you ever lose? Ever. How do you ever lose in a fight? You can't be seen. How could you ever lose in a fight for real? Crazy.
The piece of bacon makes all the little kid dogs like just basically jump on him. Then out of nowhere, sand starts flying into the room, creating this little sand dune in the middle of the lobby. Then a giant mummy slides down the hill and he's just like, hey, Dracula, what's up? But Dracula's just like, the sand, Murray, the sand, every year with the sand. Anywho, we then cut to Dracula showing the monsters what humans are like, and he has the most innocent, normal photos of humans ever, but he shapes it as they're just dangerous.
Not real life,
you know, wolf.
You know what you're doing with this power? What are you doing with invisible powers, bro? Without you said that sentence, I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know, bro.
Type of thing. Basically, they get all their informations about humans through Dracula every year through this little event that they do, which is just so confusing to me because they don't live in this hotel. They come to this hotel annually. So how in the world are they only experiencing humans through this? Where in the world do they live in the 21st century?
Real life,
all
though.
These monsters.
How do y'all not interact with humans this whole time?
through this. Where in the world did they live in the 21st century that all these monsters, one of these ninjas is like 50 feet tall? You know what? It's whatever. We then cut to Mavis giving herself a little pep talk about how she's gonna ask her dad to let her go outside for the first time. We see that she doesn't have a reflection while she's talking. I don't know, I thought that was pretty cool. She then walks on a wall and then on the ceiling. I don't know if I didn't watch another Vampire Diaries or something, but since when can these ninjas walk on walls and defy gravity? When has that been a vampire power? While that's happening, Dracula walks over to Mavis's room. She has this like voodoo doll head on her door. All the doors in the hotel have them, but like her specifically beefs with Dracula. I don't know, it's kind of funny. You could tell they've been beefing for a long time because of the way he talks to it.
Is she up yet?
Oh, she's up. What you gonna do? What you gonna say?
But Dracula goes into Mavis's room. He's trying to talk to her about her birthday and what they're gonna do, but she is not having it. She says we need to talk about something. Dracula says, I know you want to explore the world. You can go. But she was very shocked by this. Dracula's just like, yeah, for real, you could go. And she was ready. She already had a bag packed.
No
As
way.
she's flying and about to leave, Dracula stops her, but Dracula tells her that everyone went to great lengths to see her for her birthday.
I really want to see new things. Maybe meet somebody my age.
I'd be sick too. Imagine your girl is that quick to dip out the house, bro. Out here hot and ready. She come back with a nigga. I know there's a nigga that's the main character. First time she leave out the house, she come back with a nigga. I'd be sick.
Dracula stops her, but Dracula tells her that
Justified crash out yet again. Justified crash out.
Great lengths to see her for her birthday.
I really want to see new things. Maybe meet somebody my age.
Bitch, you're 118. The only person your age you're gonna see is one of those shriveled up monk people. She tells him that she wants to go where he met her mom, which is Hawaii, but she doesn't know how to say it, so she says some dumb shit like Hawaha or some bull crap. And he tells her to just go to a village that's 30 minutes away. But before she goes, all her aunts and uncles come into the room, and they're just like, what? You're letting her go outside? And they're panicking, obviously because they think all humans are monsters, because that's what Dracula told them. And Mrs. Frankenstein hits this like random pose after talking. I don't know why. It's just like slightly funny to me.
Maybe they've changed.
But after Mavis leaves, Frankenstein tells Dracula, I'm proud of you for letting her leave. But when he turns around, he's not there. We then cut to him flying out following Mavis. And he gets to the village before her.
No way.
I don't know how fast this man flies, but throughout this whole movie, this man's flight is insane. He is overpowered. This honestly might be the most powerful depiction of Dracula in fiction. I promise. Because this man does some crazy stuff in this movie. Anywho, maybe
got to see about that.
But all she sees is this mannequin in a shop window. She walks up to it, and this random guy pops out of nowhere with a torch. Then the mannequin turns around too, and all these like humans come out of nowhere with pitchforks and knives. And they say they're gonna burn her clothes, take her toes, and steal her candy. Which earlier is something that was said in the book Dracula was reading to her when she was a kid. Then one of the humans
he definitely plotted this. They're definitely fake humans.
Falls off, and you see it as actually just the zombies. Dracula quickly runs and puts his head back on before Mavis notices. Then the zombies just start messing up. One sets everyone on fire, and then literally just a fire circle of people. But as Dracula is shaking his head thinking he failed, Mavis says, dang, Dad was right. And she flies back to the hotel. Then after she leaves, Dracula moves through the crowd of zombies as this mist. What power is this? This man is just materializing. Like, what other Dracula? Like, bro, they weren't doing this in Castlevania. Buddy wasn't moving like this. I mean, yeah, Alucard had telekinesis, but like, what in the world is this? Anyway, the zombies start packing up, and one of them's trying to steal this mannequin. That boy is finna get freaky.
What the hell was this nigga about to do with a mannequin, bro? What was this nigga about to do with bro? See, freak niggas like this deserve, I don't know what y'all deserve, bro. Y'all deserve electric chairs, man. What was this nigga about to do with a mannequin?
Then Dracula flies out of the hotel, but we see a mysterious figure walking towards the fire. Dracula goes to check up on Mavis, and he goes, hey, how was the big world? How was it? And she was just like, it was terrible. You were right, Dad. Everything is so bad. And he gives her a hug, and she says that she's sorry she ever doubted him, and she'll never leave her again. And look at the grin on this man's face. This man just lied to his daughter and is happy about it. I'm telling you, this man was moving different in episode 1. All y'all know now is, hey, dude man, where's the dude man? But in episode 1, this man was a real monster. We also find out that her mom left a present.
A lot of Draculas can turn into mist. Castlevania Dracula could even do it? Really? He probably didn't know then. But I never seen a Dracula do that either. To be fair, I've never seen a Dracula do that. But I don't see horror. I don't watch horror stuff like that, so I wouldn't even know. To be fair, again, so.
When she specifically turned 118. Now, they're making 118 like her 18th birthday. This irritates the fuck out of me, but I do kind of get it because they had to make it a whole nother century, so it's like humans are actually different. Because if it was just 18 years from 1890 whatever, then it wouldn't really work. But I get it. My headcanon for this is that vampires just age at a ratio of 1.5 years for every 1 human year. Y'all didn't know I really had that big thinker on me. Yeah, shut your lame ass up. Anywho, Dracula gets back to the lobby and one of the zombies from earlier comes up to him.
Yes, what do you want? A cookie? You did all right, man. Move on already.
We then see the mysterious figure from earlier walking through the turnstile door, and Dracula sees him and realizes it's a human. So he dashes over to him and talks to him while in the turnstile. And he dashed into it so fast, it's spinning around them. They're having their own private conversation.
How did he even get here?
This guy is like a hippie hitchhiker, and he just accidentally stumbled upon the place because of the fire. Dracula tries to get him to leave, but when he walks out, there's a whole bunch of monsters trying to actively come into the hotel. So Drac sneaks him off to like a janitor closet. He then searches his backpack for weapons. All he finds is like his shirt, and it's super stinky, and it almost kills him. Then he finds his phone and starts freaking out, but Johnny says he only uses it for music, and he gives him headphones. And then he starts tweaking out. Johnny, thinking this is just some secret costume party, is just messing with Dracula and going blah blah blah. Dracula decides not to kill him because it would set monsters back hundreds of years. Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's a good reason for that excuse. I'm gonna keep it 1,000. You know what? Good stuff, movie. I'll give you that. Drac then decides to dress him up as a monster so he can sneak him out the hotel. But this chef Quasimodo stops him as he's walking out, and this little rat that he keeps with him can smell humans somehow. And he's just like, I smell a human. And then Quasimodo's just like, stop being stupid. This is Count Dracula. But Drac grabs the rat and yeets it somewhere. While this is happening, Johnny sneaks off and he sees a skeleton. He puts his hands through their rib cage and finds out it's a female skeleton, and she slaps the mess out of him, making her boyfriend mad. And Johnny steps back and he hits Bigfoot. Then this leads to just a chain reaction of him running in the Miranda monsters until he gets on a witch's broom, flies around, and then runs into Mavis. As they get up, they make eye contact with each other and they zing. But Drac instantly gets between them, and then Mavis confirms that this is the real Dracula. Johnny gets scared, but Drac grabs him and brings him into this room. And since Johnny knows now that this is the real Dracula, he starts tweaking out in this room and he's terrified. He asks if he's gonna suck his blood, pause, and Dracula says that he doesn't do that anymore and he uses blood substitutes. And then he does the blah 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 thing. Johnny then asks, what even is this place then? Drac then explains that this is like a sanctuary for monsters so they don't have to fear humans and they can live in peace. He then grabs Johnny and starts flying out of the window. But Mavis sees them mid-flight and he flies Johnny back in. Then when Mavis flies,
rizzed her up. Nah, real life with just his eyes too. Just eyes rizzed her up. That's how you. That's good riz right there. I ain't gonna lie. That's good. That's good riz, my nigga. Great riz, phenomenal riz. Castlevania Dracula does it in the games. I don't remember if he did it in the show. Probably didn't do it in the show if he didn't know. But in the games, I would not be surprised. Like if he's teleporting around the screen and you can't hit him all the time, he's definitely doing that in the games for real. Let's see what's up.
Johnny asked a very interesting question.
You didn't have any clothes on when you were a bat? Or were they bat-sized?
Now, while this is a little odd to ask, I think...
Yo, you think they got a clothes beam like Piccolo chat? Like, the clothes just materialize whenever they transform or something? Like, Dragon Ball characters, their clothes just transform with them. Like, Super Saiyan 4, this nigga gets a whole new fit. A whole new fit. You gotta play Symphony of the Night, won't disappoint. I literally have that on my Android. I can show you right now. Where's my Android at? I could show you right now. I have Symphony of the Night literally on my phone. I've bought that game in like 2019. I've never played it. Never played it yet, but I have it. Right here. I can load it up right now. Just to show you. We put okay. Dead have it right here. I've had this for mad long. I played like 3 hours of it back in like 2019. And then my phone broke. And then when I got my new phone was my new Android back in like 2020. I had an Android all of 2020. It was so bad I couldn't play any games on it. And then I got an iPhone in 2021. And then when I got my iPhone, my old Android was like usable. I deleted like everything on there except for like certain apps. It's like I probably could have played it on there, but I never had a good Android too. And I got this Android like a few months ago, like a month before DreamCon. I just haven't played it yet. So I literally had it. I just got hoed from playing it for a long time. Gotta play it at some point though.
Come up later in the movie, but Mavis asks who Johnny is, and Drax makes up the excuse that he's the party planner for her new birthday since he's close to her age. When they find out Mavis's age, she's 118. I said that to y'all earlier, but I guess if you didn't do the math, then you wouldn't know that. Anywho, Johnny says he's 121. I don't know if that means he's actually 21 in human years, or if he just said that. But I don't know. Then Mavis asks Johnny if they can hang out when he's not planning for the party. Drax says, of course y'all can hang out. But once he closes the doors, he turns around and he says, yeah, y'all are not hanging out. He then opens the secret passage in the wall that leads them to these like tunnels under the castle. And they go through all these tunnels, but Dracula keeps failing to find the exit. And they stumble upon these bed bugs, bug in the bed if you know what I mean. And then they also walk in on the female skeleton from earlier. Then he pulls a lever and he sees Drax's friends beating up the zombie Mozart and zombie Beethoven band because they want to play for the birthday party instead of them. They ask Drax to sing with them and he says no, but then they insist and then he starts tweaking out.
No! Don't ask me again!
I'm telling you, this man was crashing out every 5 seconds.
Yo, why this nigga tweaking all the time? What the hell?
I'm telling you, this man was crashing out every 5 seconds.
Oh my goodness,
Mavis
bro.
catches Johnny in the wall, and this man is lost in the sauce. Look at him. But Johnny sees a spider and he falls into the room. But Frankenstein sees him. Dracula gets in between him and Frankenstein, and Johnny asks if they're gonna kill me, and he says, not as long as they think you're a monster. And Johnny said that was kind of racist. They make up the excuse that Johnny is Frankenstein's cousin on his right-hand side, and they ask him why he's here, and he says he's here to plan the party. And everyone looks at Dracula, and they're just like, dang, you really let somebody plan the party? So they ask Johnny if he thinks it would be better for the classical zombies to play versus them play their music. So Johnny gets them to play, and they play this like old school love song. And in this song, they mention Doritos, and I just don't understand how they would know what those are if these guys live in isolation. But once again, I'm gonna keep it pushing.
Literally.
But Johnny's saying they're going
And they were in like 1895 or something like that, right? Nigga, Doritos did not exist for that long. Somebody lying. Can you do a video on CW Arrow? That effort was so tough. Season 1. I have to watch all the CW shows. I've seen none of them. I gotta go tap in.
And he starts jamming, looking directly at Mavis too. Oof. That boy got her blushing.
Oh, yeah,
a crowd formed and he's going crazy. Then he goes for a stage job, but they don't know what it is, so they just let him fall. But nonetheless, after that little jam session, everyone is in love with Johnny and think he's the coolest guy ever. But Dracula says they're not doing any of that for the party, but everyone just ignores him. We then cut to everybody playing bingo, and it's just
Dracula is so animated. I love how animated he is. That nigga is so animated,
everyone
bro.
Everyone is in love with Johnny and think he's the coolest guy ever. But Dracula says they're not doing any of that for the party, but everyone just ignores him. We then cut to everybody playing bingo, and it's just a very boring scene. And the only one really having fun is like Dracula. But Mrs. Frankenstein gets bingo, and then we get the classic line,
I didn't do that.
Then they're in this like gymnasium, and half the people are on the benches, and the rest are like playing charades. And they have two of the worst people to play charades with. We got this fly that's like spinning on his hands, and then we have the Invisible Man. But after getting bored, Johnny remembers that he had a scooter in his backpack, so he gets to busting tricks in the middle of the gym, and everybody takes their turn with the scooter until the lady from earlier grabs the scooter and eats it.
I didn't do that.
Then we have the pool scene. We got the little fly guy again, and he's doing like a water yoga class. I don't know, something about this guy is just
lame
so
ass
funny.
party,
like,
bro.
I don't know, it's just like
lame ass party.
It's also like the tone of his, I don't know, he's just so funny. He's a cute little guy. And at the dinner tables, everybody's just trying to talk to Johnny because he's experienced other things outside the hotel, and he talks to them about the Taj Mahal, which they know of the Taj Mahal but not going to it, which I don't know is interesting. I guess the Taj Mahal has been around for centuries, so I'll give him that one. But anywho, Dracula gets in between him and Mavis and gives her a cream cheese bagel, and I'm gonna keep it a buck. This cream cheese looks kind of good. I'm taking a bite out of that. I'm gonna keep it a bean. Dracula basically just tells him he needs to figure out an excuse to leave, so he should go in the pool and pretend that his back is hurting and then sneak out. But someone takes it as, you need me to get on your back, and this starts a giant chicken fight in the pool. And Frankenstein somehow gets on this giant tentacle and uses it as like a diving board and jumps off. The werewolf pantses the Invisible Man, and then he says that, don't judge me, you know, the pool was kind of cold. You know, obviously it's like it's a dick joke, but like you can't see him because he's invisible. I don't know. I don't know.
Literally, bro.
Dracula then sees that Johnny's makeup is rubbing off because the water, so he goes to grab him, but then he accidentally gets pulled into the pool, and underneath the water, he starts tweaking out. He decides to pull the drain plug.
Yo, this nigga crashed out everywhere, huh?
The water.
So this nigga just crashes out no matter where he's at.
Weekend out.
This thing
He
is
decides
crazy.
to pull the drain plug on the pool, and so the water starts going down. But Johnny just got on the giant diving board and jumps off of it, and is currently falling towards the pool with no water. Dracula then suspends him in the air, which, yo, when did this become a vampire power? Like, yeah, I've seen it. You know, you got Alucard doing it all the time. But, like, what history books, what, like, folk tales, did they start getting telekinesis? Like,
I think he's just cracked. He got every power in existence. This might be one of the most cracked Draculas ever. This nigga got everything. For what we seeing, this nigga got everything, bro.
He then carries him off to a cemetery off the hotel grounds and tells him to sneak off. Then he tries to mind control him, but it doesn't work because Johnny has contacts in, and that somehow stops the mind control. But after realizing the mind control won't work,
yo, this man is rage baiting. This is like him rage baiting Dracula the entire movie. Out here rage baiting Dracula the whole movie, my nigga. I swear if it have an aneurysm by the end of this, I swear to God, bro.
Out and threatens to kill him if he tells anybody about this place or doesn't leave. But while he's walking away, Mavis sneaks up on him and tells Johnny to follow her. Johnny says no, but then Mavis says, "You sure it'll be fun?" And this man folds like a fucking lawn chair with zero pressure.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep it 1,000.
I would too.
I can't blame him though. She takes him up to the roof and she asks him if he knows about Hawaii. And he says, "Yeah, I've been to a musical festival there." And she says, "That's amazing, you've been everywhere." He basically says, "Of course, what am I gonna do, stay home all day?" And Mavis is really upset about that, obviously, because that's her life. Then the sun starts coming up and she starts to get burned. Johnny says he has an idea and he kind of keeps her in the shade, but at an angle where she can still see the sunrise. And she is absolutely amazed by this and wooed, you know, because obviously the sunrise is pretty beautiful. But am I supposed to believe she's never seen one of these? Like, I get it, you know, they go to sleep during the day and all that, but there's no way in your 118 years of life you could do this trick at all. Like, that just doesn't make any sense. But
bro, I feel like with how Dracula's moving, he probably made sure every window was like locked down. She probably real life couldn't. She probably real life couldn't do this. She real life probably couldn't do this.
I'm gonna let that one slide too. I've been really generous recently, and I hope one of these movies doesn't piss me off. We then cut to the guys in the sauna having fun. They start talking about Johnny, and Frankenstein says that it's nice to see Mavis happy and hanging out with someone. But Dracula says they can never be a thing because Mavis can never hang out with someone of his kind. Obviously, Frankenstein, thinking that Johnny is another Frankenstein, gets very upset by this. And then Dracula says that he means someone with red curly hair, and the Invisible Man gets mad. Basically, everyone in the sauna gets mad. Then we cut to Mavis and Johnny, and he's backing her up off the roof because the sun is getting close. Johnny then falls down the roof, and as Dracula is explaining that Johnny left, he falls right in Dracula's arms. We then cut to Dracula open up the door to the dining hall, and he realizes he still only has his towel on, so then he spins around and his clothes just appear out of thin air. He then tells Johnny he can sit in this room all day and rearrange the tables. Johnny starts moving the tables around, but then Dracula gets irritated by the sound and forces him into a corner to take a time out. Dracula then starts calling out the numbers of the table and telling them to rearrange, and they start flying. But while he's doing that, Johnny figures out the numbers of the tables and he sneaks onto one and tells it to fly. Dracula sees this and then knocks him off. He then goes back into the sky and starts flying around, zipping past Drac, and then Drac sees this as a challenge. So he also gets on one and he starts chasing Johnny around. And after almost getting caught, Johnny hits a half pipe off the ceiling. Then we see this long-nosed ninja
got aura
sniffing the ground outside, looking for the human. We cut back to Johnny and Drac. And Drac
table half pipe is 101, bro.
In the middle of the dining hall. But Johnny jumps through one of the gaps of the table. Drac then follows behind him, but he loses his table underneath him, and Johnny catches them out the air. So now they're speeding through the hallways of the hotel, and they're messing with each other while on the table, but they crash into one of the guards, and when Dracula recovers, he realizes that Johnny is gone. He instantly realizes that Quasimodo must have stolen him, and he goes to find him. And that boy is Naruto running through the halls. Look at him. He is on time.
Naruto running is crazy. This might be one of the most animated anime characters. Animated characters. That's even a sentence I could say. That is
Naruto
so crazy, bro.
Halls. Look at him. He is on timing. But while running, he runs into Mavis, and she asks where Johnny is. And Drac says, "Why do you ask? Do you like him?" And she's just like, "Nah, he's so weird and awkward, and he doesn't know he's adorable." And then he realizes, my boy Johnny is in there. That boy already knows he's scared, too. He's just like, "No, my Mavis." And after realizing this, Dracula goes to the nearest guard, and he tells him, he's just like, "Do you have a location on Quasimodo?" And we see that all these, like, night guards are kind of like a hive mind and can see what the other one sees, which is cool as fuck. I'm not gonna lie, this shit is lit. Anywho, the guards go to stop Quasimodo, and this man locks in. Weave. They then block him at the door. Instead of the guards saying like, yo, Dracula told us to capture you, they just try to grab him, hits the step back like Danny Granger, and then kicks bro in the ball. The knight realizes he's a knight, and he's just like, why in the world did that hurt me? We then see these eyes glow in the dark, and it's all these gremlin dudes coming to attack Quasimodo, and that boy gets
How is he moving like this?
He jumps on one.
This is a
gets onto the woodwork of
gremlin.
the ceiling. He weaves this one, weaves another
Wow.
one, swings off this guard. Then we zoom in. The rat on his head is also getting busy. This boy's fighting spiders on top of the hat
Ain't
and
no
makes light
freaking
work of
way.
it. He hits the ground, he looks to his right, and he sees that the guards are there. Then he looks to his left, and he sees the little gremlin things, and he gets an idea. He runs and he jumps on one of the guards' helmets, kicking it off. This then hits one of the gremlins in the face, and then he just keeps doing it. Bing, 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 until he makes it through the doorway. Then he hits this pose, and that boy got that. Wait a minute, is this even a?
I did not want to see that. I do not want to see this grown man greasy nigga booty on my freaking screen,
Monster? Bro, Quasimodo is just a hunchback. This ninja isn't even a fucking monster.
Oh,
He's damn
God,
near human.
bro.
Wait a minute, bro. So is the invisible
Oh,
man.
God,
bro,
though.
he's just a human. He's just invisible. This ninja had humans in the hotel. I don't even have the energy to like really dive into that. But you know what? I'ma let it slide. I'ma have to let it slide. Shout out
life,
Billy.
bro.
We then cut to Mavis and Drac, and they're talking about love. And
tripping.
Mavis rubs the chin of the statue, and you can see the statue's eyes move to look at her. Then someone comes in and tells Drac that Quasimodo made it to the kitchen, and you can still see the statue reacting to Drac. But Drac rushes to the kitchen. We then cut to Quasimodo slowly roasting Johnny over a fire. Dracula turns off the fire and then grabs him, and he goes to leave, but Quasimodo stops him, and he says, "Wow, Dracula, now you're helping them human." Dracula says he's not a human, he's a Frankenstein. And Quasimodo says if he is, then he could prove it by scaring Esmeralda, the rat. He goes over to scare her, and she is absolutely unfazed. Just does not give a fuck about anything he got going on. And then she makes a little rat noise, and this scares the absolute shit out of Johnny. And Quasimodo starts tweaking out, screaming human. He goes to attack Dracula, but he just freezes him. Then this like gremlin goes to Quasimodo's body and then sticks his finger in his nose. I'm pretty sure he did this because this gremlin specifically has been beat by Quasimodo like twice. Like, I mean, an absolutely like belt-to-ass beat. Like, this nigga was whipping his shit. Anywho, Dracula takes Johnny to this abandoned room, and Johnny sees a picture of a woman, and he says there's a whole legend around her, and that he visited the castle that her and her husband died in.
The legend is wrong.
Oh, that's where that TikTok is from. That's where I seen this TikTok. That's where the TikTok is from.
The wife that died.
That boy moving different. Bro, that's aura right there. Bro, if Mavis died, this man would have tweaked out. F the hotel, F everything, bro. He would have pulled a full Castlevania Dracula and murked everyone. And this one is not failing, I promise, because this guy is actually OP. And since he had
Real
Mavis
life.
instead of an Alucard, he wouldn't even have been stopped. This man would have just wiped out all of humanity. Licky split, you heard? That boy would have got the victory royale, would have been the last one alive. Anywho, he explains to Johnny that the legend is wrong because the only one that died was the wife, and that the husband and their kid made it out because he is her husband. He also tells him that there's no mystery to who killed her because the humans did it. While he was trying to talk them down and get them to not do anything, they killed his wife, but he was able to escape with Mavis.
Insane,
Dracula
bro.
once again explains that he built this place for his wife to protect their child, and he also says he'll do anything to protect Mavis even if he has to lie to her. But he then tells Johnny that Mavis has feelings for him. Drac says he likes Johnny, but he wishes more humans were like him. Johnny says it's the 21st century, and some might be, but Drac asks if he could promise that everyone will be okay with it, and Johnny says no. Which I'm not gonna lie, that definitely is true. But I mean, if you need like everybody except you, like, I mean, like, come on, bro. Like, you look-y bugging a little bit. Like, come on. But Johnny is discouraged by his revelation, and he says, I'll just leave. Just say that I snuck out or I left or I didn't want to be here anymore. And Drac tells him, no, wait until after the birthday party. And Johnny says he just really doesn't want to hurt Mavis. Dracula tells him he's not the smoothest Frankenstein, but he would make a good vampire. Johnny says he thinks so too, and then he has us hypnotize him down. So Johnny goes for it, and he tells Dracula that he is now a vampire, and he plays along with it. You can really see they had a real bond here, and I don't know, it's just really cool. Then we cut to the werewolf, which I guess makes sense since they were like acting like the werewolf. But anywho, he hasn't gotten any sleep, and right when he's about to close his eyes, the phone rings. It is time to get ready for Mavis's party. Mavis looks at her closet, and she grabs all of her same exact shirts. Then we see her start sewing them together.
So real though. That is so real though. Like y'all ever have them nights like nothing goes your way and you just can't sleep. It's like nothing goes your way. No matter what like nothing goes your way. You just cannot sleep. Hate nights like that, bro. There was a night I had like that where it was like real life, bro. I couldn't sleep, so I stayed up for like a whole 24 hours. And the next day when I was trying to sleep, I kept getting extended time to where I just couldn't sleep. I don't know what it was. It was like every single time I was about to sleep, something happened where I couldn't sleep. Like I had to go out help my aunt with something, and then I came back to do something. It was insane. Like I wanted to go to sleep at 6 o'clock. I didn't go to sleep till like 12.
He was powdering
so
his
insane.
buns.
That,
That boy is caked up. We then see Dracula sneak into Mavis's room and put a present on her bed from her mom. We cut to the party and we see the guys playing as a band. And with all of Johnny's ideas, this joint is getting crunk. We see the wolf kids on this table, and the youngest out of all of them, this girl with the binky, is an absolute menace. She whoops everybody on this table. Then we see Johnny on the dance floor. You know he's gonna crunk, but then Mavis pulls up on him. He calls her beautiful and she says, thanks, I really like the party. And then he says, do you like my little touches? He has these like, what I assume are fireflies of every color of the rainbow, and they're making different locations around the world, including Hawaii. So then Mavis does a little trust fall thing, but then turns into a bat last second. And look, the makeshift like cape dress she made does not turn into a bat with her.
My theory here is, right, that the clothes they wear are actually like a part of their like spirit or whatever the hell their weird ass magic works. Because that goes away when they turn into vampires. But other things don't. So I think that's how it works.
I think. Anywho, they start dancing, but in the middle of dancing, Mavis looks at Johnny like this. Yo, she knows what she's doing. You look at anybody like this, you know it's about to be raps.
Real life.
But we cut to Dracula, and this boy takes off the cape and gets to breaking it down, bro. Look at him. Oh, that boy getting crazy.
That nigga
That boy got the
moving.
1700s funk in him. But Mavis and Johnny kiss, and one of the guards snitches, pointing it out to Dracula. And this boy moves through the crowd and pulls up immediately. And Dracula is pissed. And Mavis says she wants to try to go outside again. And Dracula says, no, it won't be worth it. And then Mavis says, I'll just go to the village again, you know, I'll try again. And Dracula finally snaps and says that won't be possible because the village doesn't exist. And then the music stops and everyone is looking at Dracula like, damn. And then you hear Frankenstein in the back say, what did you do? I don't know why this just reminds me of a meme, but I just can't put my finger on it. It's like the way he says it.
What did you do?
But Mavis pressures him into confessing, and he tells her the truth that he built the town is not real. And he says if something happened to her, then he couldn't live with himself, so he didn't let her go out. And then she says, but you could live with lying to me. But right before he can answer, frozen Quasimodo is willed over by the rat into the middle of the party. He's trying to talk, but he's frozen, so no one can understand him. But then the fly flies over, and he's just like, I speak frozen. And he translates that there's a human in the party. And then he points over to Johnny. But then Quasimodo's rat messes up Johnny's makeup and his hair, and everyone realizes he's a human, and they start tweaking out. But Mavis sees him and asks him if it's true, and Johnny says,
why
he's
is
sorry
everybody
for
in the
lying,
back
and she says,
why is everyone in the back tweaking, but not tweaking on the human nigga that got him tweaking? You see how they look how they all moving in the back. They tweaking on everybody but the nigga that's making them tweak.
It's true.
That's
and Johnny
crazy,
says he's
bro.
sorry for lying, and she says she doesn't care. She still wants to be with you. But Johnny looks out to the crowd and he sees Dracula sad, and he decides to play the villain and says he doesn't want to be with her because she's a monster, and storms off. And he does this dumbass karate move and like scares everybody. But then Mavis gets mad at Drac and she storms off, and everyone leaves the party. Later on, Dracula goes to check on Mavis but doesn't see her in the room. He thinks that she ran away, but he flies out and realizes that she's just on the roof. So he walks over to her and she asks for a favor. He says anything, and she asks if he could erase her memory, and he says he could never do anything like that to her. She starts crying, and we see the present from her mom. It's this little 4-page book about how her and her dad met. And on the last page it says, your zing will come, my love, and cherish it. Mavis then says she thought her and Johnny zinged, and Dracula's just like, damn, y'all zinged. Mavis then says, you don't have to worry about me leaving. I have no more dreams, and I don't want to leave the castle anymore. Then she flies to her room. This postcard of Hawaii flies in the wind, and right before it flies too far, Dracula catches it, and he asks himself, what has he done? We then cut to everyone trying to leave the hotel because the human, but then Dracula comes to them and tells them that he needs help trying to find Johnny. But they're all upset because he let Johnny in there. Drac then explains that Johnny wasn't a bad guy, and he also doesn't know if humans were bad, and he was lying to them the whole time. But then Dracula tells everyone that they zinged, and everybody just eats that up. Frankenstein starts short-circuiting, which I guess is his version of crying. And then everybody's just like, okay, you know what? Let's get Johnny. What are we doing? So they skedaddle on up out of there. They hop in the V and they are ready to go. The mummy asks Dracula what he's gonna do about the son, and he says he's just gonna have to roll with it. They find a shirt from Johnny's backpack, and he tries to get the werewolf to sniff it, but he tells Dracula
this
that
really reminded me how great this movie was.
Yeah.
I never seen this movie, so I'm really invested. So I'm not like reacting, like I'm yapping as I usually do. Like I'm actually, like, I never seen the movie before, so I need to actually know the plot for real.
Kids and, you know, diapers, and I don't know. I guess that messed up his nose. Then he calls over his kids. He whistles, but it's like silent, you know, because they're like dogs. Like, but anywho, all his kids come out of nowhere and they pull up squad deep, and none of them listen to him.
Where's his wife?
So he calls.
Where's his girl at?
Out the only one that still respects him, and it's the little girl from earlier that was on the table. And when she starts walking, they all freeze in their place. And I don't know what kind of nose she has, but she tells him everything possible. Tells him what type of car he hopped in, tells him that the car needs transmission fluid, tells him what airport, where he's headed to, and what seat he's in the airplane. She's
God
golden.
damn.
So they hop back in the car and they get the booking it. They then see a sheep in the middle of the road and they yell out sheep. I kind of feel like this was a Jeep joke somehow, but I don't know. So y'all let me know if it was. But they make a hard left to avoid the sheep and end up on this like mountain road. They see a human dressed up as Dracula and a werewolf, and then they're very tripped out about it. And they see that the humans are throwing a monster festival, and this makes them realize that the humans actually like them. Dracula sees a human dressed up as him, and he asks him, how do I get through this crowd? And he says he should have left an hour earlier. And he does the blah 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 thing, and Dracula's just like, I don't go blah blah blah. So they decide to go on foot. So to get to the crowd, they decide that they need to scare the humans. Frankenstein says he can't scare people anymore because he hasn't done it in years. But the Invisible Man gets bro active, lights a match, puts it in front of his face, and bro gets the tweaking out. Climbs to the top of this balloon of himself and gets the roaring on that joint.
Man, why would he tweak out over a match? Is that like a weakness that he got? Why is he tweaking over a match? Am I tripping? What about that? What would make him trip about that?
But once he's done, they start clapping, and he gets mad because they're not scared. But the humans say that they love them. So Frankenstein decides to take this moment and tell the humans that the real Dracula is down there, and that his daughter's in love, and that he needs to go to the airport. Someone asked him to prove that
and the Frankenstein story hates fire. Oh, okay, I was about to say.
And he makes him crack this mug up against his head. But one of the Draculas has an idea on how to help him. So he gets all the Draculas to line up in a row, and someone else to lift their cape up to protect him from the shade. And Dracula sees this, and bro gets the booking it. Naruto running all the way through. Everything is in slow motion to him, and he hears everyone supporting him, saying that they love him and chanting him on. He then makes it to the airport, and he sees Johnny. He says there's no choice, and he decides to run out into the sun. He goes in the bat form, and he gets to chase in this plane. And that boy is smoking. But somehow, some way, this man catches up to this plane. I'm telling you, this has to be the most OP Dracula, because he just caught up to this plane after it already left.
Is Dracula that fast? Would any other Dracula be able to do that? Like, to catch up to a plane? I feel like other Draculas would be as fast. Low key. Like, I feel like that's a speed feat that other Draculas would have. Y'all let me know, though.
But he rests on this landing gear while it's in the shade for a couple seconds and gets straight back to it. He makes it to Johnny's window. He tries to bang on it, but Johnny has headphones in and does not see him. Also on the screen in front of Johnny is like Vampire Diaries or something. I don't know, whichever one goes, you imprinted on my daughter. But then Johnny notices him, but through the glass, they can't talk. This pisses Dracula off, so he flies to the cockpit. Then he hypnotizes the pilot and talks to Johnny through the pilot. He tells him that he's sorry and he made a terrible mistake and that he wants Johnny to come back. Back at the window, Johnny gives him a thumbs up and he turns the plane around. Obviously, everybody else on the plane is absolutely pissed because that's some BS, but you know, hey. And before we get to the next scene,
BS, bro.
I'm not letting this slide. This ninja Dracula is actually OP. This man has been outside in the sun as a bat for, I don't even know. This man doesn't have any freaking debuffs. He's just straight GOAT. Like literally, what are some of these powers? This man has telekinesis, can defy gravity, has mind control, can suspend things in the air and freeze things, like super sight, super speed. Bro, he caught up to this plane. Who is this ninja? You know what? I just realized. I know who he is. He's a dude man.
Hey, dude man. I'm a dude man.
Yes, I made this whole video just to make that joke. At me. Then we cut to him flying in the maze.
Got it.
And he's all burnt up. Which I'm not.
He got it. I ain't gonna lie. Being that broken, you that broken, I ain't gonna lie, he got it.
It doesn't make any sense because if he had to turn the plane around and he probably got back to the village with the guys, with Johnny, then he really didn't need to do any of that unless he was just aura farming, which to be honest, I wouldn't put it past him because he was kind of aura farming this whole movie. But Dracula says that he only wants to see Mavis happy and she says she doesn't know how she's supposed to do that. And this nigga regenerates before he could even get the sentence out. Not to mention his clothes regenerate too. Then Dracula says, I have a birthday present for you. He turns his backpack around and Johnny is there. She asks why you're here and he says, because you're my Zing. And then she says, I thought you hated monsters. And Johnny says, I only said that because your dad said he was gonna suck all the blood out of me. And Dracula admits that he was actually gonna do that. This man is about that action. But Johnny and Mavis have a moment and they're about to kiss, and then Dracula crashes out. But then he leaves the room, and while they kiss, we get this transition into the night. And now they're actually celebrating Mavis's birthday. We cut to Quasimodo still frozen and getting tortured by the werewolf's kids. And you know, I don't know, I think it's kind of interesting because is he like really the antagonist here? Like, he outed Johnny, but like I kind of feel like he did what he was supposed to do in a way. I mean, I don't know, like unless they like unfroze him and he was still trying to kill Johnny, like it makes sense to keep him frozen. But I feel like
bro, I feel like a lot of animated movies, they low-key be having like brutal endings to some of the villains. Let me finish this video before I get to what I'm going to talk about.
Who's necessarily the antagonist of this movie? I guess it's more so Dracula or more so his mindset. I don't know. Anywho, they get the partying. Johnny asks Dracula to sing and he grabs the mic and this boy gets to rapping. Bro thinks he's Drizzy Drake. You get a Drizzy Drake like Drizzy Drake, but it's like Dracula. It's basically just showing that everyone's having fun and that Drac finally loosened up. And that is the end. W fucking movie. One day
W, bro.
Anywho, why have I've never retake an anywho? That you know who I am? I'm the anywho king. Ninja. This is my shit.
Love to see. Hey, W video, bro. W video. You love to see it. Shout out to my man, your boy Eustace. High key. Let me show y'all what I was gonna talk about, and then I'm gonna wrap this up. I think it was Shrek 3's ending. No, 4. Like, bro, some of these endings are like brutal, bro. Like, yeah, Rumpelstiltskin, like his homeboy literally gets murked and they start laughing. It's like the bird nigga. Bro, where's it at? Oh man, where is it? Shrek, Rumpelstiltskin goose just dies. Look at this, bro. And they got a minute. No. Bro, them niggas was evil. Them niggas, they really blew up the goose till he exploded. They was dead laughing. Like, these niggas are cynical. Like, nah, they're like legitimate villains, bro. That's not like, bro, that's not no good thing, bro. That's not a good thing, my nigga. Like, bro, what is wrong with these niggas? They evil for that, bro. Rumpelstiltskin ain't do nothing in the movie that evil, bro. Ain't no freaking way, bro. That made me cry, bro. But it's why I'm gonna end our stream. It movie will probably be Saturday. I appreciate y'all for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed that Transylvania video. I know it's not stuff we usually react to, but I hope y'all enjoyed it. All I really gotta say for real, I'm gonna see y'all Saturday for that movie. Hopefully that stream will be a little longer because I'm gonna be pretty free that day. Not gonna lie. And I shall catch you guys in the next one. Run my fade on Clash Royale. Next time we do a Clash Royale thing on Twitch, I got y'all, bro. I got you, bro.